that's hate speeches and it's hateful conduct. That's bizarre. It's almost like this hurts your stupid propaganda arm of BLM. Donald Trump, he's gotta be arrested right meow. Somebody call the Capitol Hill Police. Ruh-roh. Nobody's buying the Paul Pelosi was totally attacked by a Donald Trump supporter trying to insurrect him through the rear door.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Pubcast. It is now open. Welcome all the Pubcasters, and let's welcome on the entire Salty Army as they're joining us tonight as we are anticipating the Salty Cracker, Salty himself, joining us at 7:15, just 13 short minutes from now. He will be joining us to be part of tonight's show. And, of course, let me go ahead and introduce our wonderful host that we have here tonight. Joining us tonight, as always, is Tom from America Floats.
Ahoy!
We have Abby Libby from Conspiracy Pilled.
Hello, fellow MAGAs.
And, of course, we have PJ from Conspiracy Pilled as well.
How's it going, Frank?
It's awesome. I'm glad that you guys are here. I'm glad everybody's joining us tonight. I'm rocking out my Salty merch tonight. Blammo! Because that dude is amazing. So I'm glad that you guys are here. Of course, we're on avocado time. He'll be here in about 15 minutes or 13 minutes or whatever that is. So in the meantime, we got a couple quick stories we want to touch on before we dive into all the things of Twitter files and the validation of President Donald J. Trump. Now that Elon has been digging up all the bodies that have been littered all around Twitter. But first, we got to do this to you guys. We have to do this to you. Tom or PJ, do you have that video?
This is a humiliation ritual to get you guys initiated into the Last American Pubcast. I will admit, I have not seen this clip yet myself either. I've heard of it. I've seen it around. I've not actually clicked on it. So here is Hillary Clinton carpool karaoke. Let's check this out.
Already have.
Are you ready to karaoke?
I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar.
Oh.
You're gonna hear me roar. What you need? Well, you know I got it.
No.
It's easy. Learn out what it means to me.
Pizza or burgers? 1, 2, 3. Burger.
It's pizza, by the way. for Hillary Clinton. Sorry, anyway.
What? Oh, let's do one more.
Comet pizza, to be
90%
specific.
of emojis are useless.
Oh, I strongly disapprove. I see reasons to use them.
Are you going to run for president?
This is the perfect show for me to finally answer it.
Wow.
Oh, my gosh. I'm sorry if we had to do that to you guys so early in the show.
That's the worst thing. It's not the
Oh.
clip I was hoping for. I was hoping for the one where they go off the cliff. But hey, I'll take the opportunity now, since I have the mic for a minute, to just let you know, we, PJ and I, will be looking out for all of the different super chats throughout the night on all the different platforms. We will be picking the top 3 and then asking your questions of Salty, because I know not everybody gets their questions answered. A lot of people have a curiosity or a thought for them. And so this may be an easy way to get a couple questions in. So we're going to look for the best 3 if you want to get your questions in a super chat form.
Yeah, and we'll address those at the last 3 minutes, the last 5 to 3 minutes. He'll be on with us tonight, and we'll make sure we get those asked on you guys. And as always, the last call will be extended tonight, so that way we can have time if there are plenty that come in, so that way we have time to answer all of you guys' questions and thoughts or conversations you guys want to have with us. But wow, we had a lot go on this week with everything with Twitter going on right now, Elon Musk and the burying of the bodies, or not burying the bodies, actually exhuming the bodies from the around Twitter headquarters there. And Tom had an interesting theory as we're going to roll into this with Elon Musk and why he ended up purchasing Twitter, and now he's made looking for child exploitation the top priority. Tom.
Yeah. So Elon Musk has already made the big announcement. Everyone knows CSAM, which is child sexual abuse material, is the number one priority for removal on Twitter. That's Elon Musk's stated goal. He said that they've been working around the clock to make sure that that is the goal and that they're attacking it. 44,000 different accounts that were sharing in CSAM or child porn were removed in just the last couple days since the article that I'd read. So my thought initially was maybe Elon Musk is a personal touch for that. Maybe he was molested, probably not, but maybe he is a little bit closer to kids, and he's got 9 of them, and wants to protect them maybe more than your average Twitter user or celebrity. So I think maybe he was kept away from some of the CP and realizing, Elon Musk is not an idiot. He knows that Twitter is a great way to end-to-end send things with DMs. It's an instantaneous messaging system and platform. So he knows, hey, you could also put CP on that. For that reason, put a pin in all that. 3 years ago, Elon Musk, during the cave-in where all the soccer kids were stuck halfway around the world, Elon Musk got into a little spat on Twitter where he had offered his help. Someone else said, this dumb American, we don't need his help. He was going to restore faith in humanity in helping these kids come out of the cave. You remember the stories a few years ago. A guy that criticized Elon Musk, Elon called a pedo guy. And the reaction to Elon just saying, maybe he's one of those pedo guys, as a little off-the-cuff insult, the reaction he got was way worse than the insult itself. So my thought was, if Elon knew, hey, I'm catching a lot of flack here, maybe I'm over the target, and maybe because he tweeted it, he saw the manipulation of Twitter attacking him for opening up the pedophilia claim. I wonder if he saw Twitter as a potential den of vipers for pedophilia.
Yeah, it is interesting, and it's funny because Jack has been trying to argue with Elon right now, saying that this was something they were taking care of before. I just want to bring up this tweet too, because we all know that it wasn't. And there's this tweet here where Elon says it's a crime that they refuse to take action or child exploit. It is a crime that they refuse to take action on child exploitation for years. Jack replies, "This is false," and I love Elon's response. She's like, "No, dude." No, it's not. When Ella Irwin, who now runs Trust and Safety, joined Twitter earlier this year, almost no one was working on child safety. She raises with Ned and Parag, but they rejected her staffing request. I made it top priority immediately. I just like that he's just like, yeah, I'm not taking your crap, Jack. Like you let the ball slip on this one. But I think it's an interesting theory.
Maybe
too,
Jack was saying it's not illegal. Maybe Jack was saying, hey, this is false. It's totally fine that we did that. Who knows?
Yeah, this rolled right into this right here over on Twitter. This was today, with him interacting with Eliza. Is that her name? Did I say that right?
Yeah. Yep.
It says, I think I may have found a problem, Elon Musk. And this was a tweet from Yoel Roth. Can high school students ever meaningfully consent to sex with their teachers? What? Exactly. Elon says, this explains a lot. And then he says, looks like Yoel is arguing in favor of children being able to access adult internet services in his PhD thesis, which he provided right here. So
these people
I'm never applying for a job with a thesis ever again.
having family members who work in the penal system, the one thing they'll always tell you is that there's no smart people in prison because criminals never can keep their mouths shut. And that's what I'm seeing constantly. We're seeing this with all the Balenciaga stuff. Now we're seeing with Yoel Roth. They have to talk about how much they love to exploit children. They just can't keep it off the internet. And it's crazy. It's like in a PhD thesis. I don't know. What's your thoughts on that, Abby? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Frank. Go
ahead, Abby.
The other thing I saw is that when child porn was reported, they would take down the post. So they would take action and leave the account up. So an account that they knew was they had eyes on it, they took down the post, left the account up. Meanwhile, people like Tom, people like me lost entire accounts for saying just basically true things.
Well, hey,
like Joe Biden is a pedophile. I got booted for that.
And this is why they got so angry with the word groomer being posted all over Twitter. It became one of those words that I'm sure they flagged to automatically take down people's Twitter accounts or post.
There's some gradation here, though. Let's be honest. Like, they were sharing CP, sure, but they weren't saying that. What's her? I just totally forgot her name. Ellen Page is a woman. At least they weren't saying that, you know.
Right. I mean, at least they weren't dangerous.
Dangerous misinformation.
People.
Yeah. So,
if you look at the members,
terrorism.
If you look at the members of the trust and safety team too, if we look at the people who were responsible for the child safety, wasn't one of them the niece of a Podesta? It's John Podesta's niece and the other whatever the other Podesta's son or a daughter. Could be a son. But the point being that Leslie Podesta, working at Twitter, was in charge of CPE, and I got to imagine that she's just helping them hide it.
Yeah, being
or
tied in with
facilitating
Podestas. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
What
No,
better way to spread it than be the one in charge of cracking down on it? Yeah. I just want to point out a comment really quick. Someone asked if they missed Salty. Salty's coming on.
He's on in 3 minutes. Yeah, we've announced it. It's always been 7:15, guys. We've always said for the last 10 days, it's going to be 7:15 that Salty comes on.
Wait,
The
what
show
time was
starts
it,
at
Tom? Is it 7:20? Have I missed it?
Abby. Oh, and Libby's got to go off to night class. I forgot. Abby, have a good night.
How's your spelunking been, by the way?
My spelunking's been great. It's just given me like a killer lung infection.
Spelunking in caves in China where they've got those weird bats, right?
Yeah, it's bats.
Is it
bad.
near a lab? Was it near
That's why
a
they
lab?
call it spelunking.
It was near a lab, but it was definitely the bat that was 700 miles away, Frank. Come on.
Yeah,
on.
exactly. How dare
Definitely.
you?
Let's not be conspiracy theorists here.
Hey, while we are waiting for Salty to jump on in a few minutes, take the opportunity now, like the stream, wherever you're watching, if it's on Odyssey or Rumble or YouTube, share a link wherever you're watching it on your favorite social media, or go boost one of the major many posts that any of us have made. That would help us grow the stream.
So I do see another thing keep popping up in chat. People keep saying that's Salty time. So people are saying 7:25. We'll see. We got some other stories we can get to if we're waiting on him, but because I know we want to talk with Salty about the
whole Twitter files.
Twitter files thing. So I don't want to get into that too early, but bye, Abby.
Bye. It's been great.
It's been great. Get her out of here. Can we get what's her name back on?
Well, here we can look at this for a minute if we need something to talk about.
Oh, hey.
We didn't plan on anything.
We have a super chat over on Rumble. First one of the night.
Oh, awesome.
nice.
Hey, Craxon Jackson says, "Hey Frank, Tom, Abby, Cave Dweller, and PJ Base."
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Thank you.
So this is what I had pulled up. This is the archive from Washington Post saying some of Hunter Biden's allies, which who are they, by the way, are making plans to go after his accusers. And this was originally said his false accusers. And they had to take false off because, it's not false. So some of this is what I'd said earlier. If you are strong, you don't care, so you can appear weak. If you know you're weak, you try to appear real strong. This is the Bidens trying to appear real strong.
Yeah, I like how they had to take false out of that. You think video and photographic evidence maybe made that a little hard to sell. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, Salty time. We got avocado time. We have all kinds of Californian time. Oh, Salty just comes in on his own time. He comes in with his blammo alaka-bam. Does that do it right? No.
Let's hear Salty do it for himself. We got Salty in the chat right now. So
Kaboom!
Salty, what's up?
Oh, there it is.
Kaboom.
Hey, everyone, what's going on?
Hey, man, welcome.
The Salty Army didn't believe in you. They thought you were going to be here at 7:30, 7:45, something like that. So
That's smart.
yeah. Excited to have you here, man.
Thank you. Glad to be here. How's everybody doing?
Good.
I'm doing fantastic. I got some great merch in the mail today, so I'm very excited.
Blammo! Oh, PJ's drinking. I am definitely jealous.
It's a pubcast, man.
I know. Oh no! Oh god! Everybody's drinking. I'm not drinking.
No, not everybody.
Oh man!
I'm a teetotaler right there with you, Salty.
What's going on, Tom? Yeah, I gotta. I'm trying to. Told the Soul Queen I'll take a couple months off of the booze as I'm eating everything else in the house. So I'm trying to. I was like, if it ain't moving, I'm eating it. And she's like, well, let's knock the booze off then. I was like, fine.
Are you trying to go up a weight class too? Because I heard you ripped some studs out of the wall.
Oh man, I wish they were studs. It was these weak Home Depot wall anchors. I was all excited. I was like, oh, look at me. And then I was like, oh no, these are like cheap plastic pieces of crap. And I was like, oh. But yeah, no, I'm trying to get thick, trying to get healthy.
Dude's in the gym. He's out pumping some iron now.
Oh man, every day. I'm addicted.
Well, that's good, man, because we you know what you need now to go along with all that pumping iron? Some mini chainsaws.
Yeah, mini chainsaws. Oh man, mini chainsaws. The Rumble people have been very awesome to me.
They have. That's awesome. Well, you're just getting into our main story that we were saving for you when you were coming on in, talking about the Twitter files that were released this yesterday, and of course all through the week, and how everything, obviously Trump was right about everything and what they were doing on big tech to silence conservatives, silence him, and go after all of these movements. And we just want to kind of know a little bit of your thoughts on this as we get going into this topic.
I think they're releasing some right now too, by the way.
They're releasing some tonight still?
Yeah,
Number four.
Number 4, I think, is drop. I think they're mid-drop right now. Did you guys hear Bannon this morning talking about it?
No, I missed that this morning.
He had a very interesting take on it, and he was explaining how you can see. So if you're paying attention at all to what's going on, you could see how the deep state that totally doesn't exist worked to oust Donald Trump. And there's a lot of parallels between how they did it in Washington, D.C. and how they did it on Twitter. It's the same exact thing because it's the same exact players. And what they're doing is, with these Twitter drops, is just not only reiterating what we already knew, that the deep state, the corporations, these globalist actors were working to oust Trump, his own administration, his own people, but they're dropping the actual receipts in the correspondence. See, they don't got the well, they might. Who knows if these idiots were dumb enough to do it on Twitter through DMs, but you don't have the actual interactions between these rank and file people at the CIA or the FBI communicating how they're going to screw Trump over. You got some of that with the FBI, with the Peter Strzok information, but now you have a Washington, D.C. satellite outfit in Silicon Valley, in California. And you could see how this apparatus is all intertwined, and how the same function that was going on in Washington, D.C. with the same type of people, these elites and these globalists working for an agenda to overthrow America, were doing the same exact thing in Silicon Valley. But we got their text, we got their back and forth, we got their Slack. We got these idiots who don't know anything about computers are all just sitting there. Oh yeah, I'm gonna just type up this treason and send it.
They thought they wiped it with like a towel.
Yeah, it's crazy. And so clearly what's happening is a plan that's unfolding for the rest of us to see in slow motion. It's painful for those of us who've been in this area to go through this, because we already know this. But it's important for the normies out there to understand. It's important for the receipts to be shown. It's important to see the messaging and all that going through, and all of the work that they were doing. So much work going on behind the scenes in Silicon Valley to steal an election. I don't want to get you guys in trouble. Fortify an election.
You didn't say which one. You didn't say which one.
Oh, yeah. I'm talking about 2016 still. We were still allowed to say that one stolen.
Yeah, every election was stolen except 2020. It was just like this magical moment in time where you just got it exactly right.
Yeah, but you could just see they're releasing this information to show people that we've got a gigantic national security apparatus that G. Edward Griffin, Alex Jones, all these people who are conspiracy terrorists have been telling everybody about, and you're watching it unfold. You got it's like the releasing of the Stasi files while the Berlin Wall's being chipped apart. So this is an incredible time to be alive.
Oh, well, it's not happening. I turned on CNN today, Salty, and they said it wasn't a nothing burger.
Well, never mind then. Everything I said was stupid. Never mind. Don't worry about it. No.
Brian Stelter's my number one source of news.
It's not.
He's a reliable source.
It's not just them. Yoel Roth says it's not happening. Look here. He says definitely not meeting with the FBI, I swear. So, I mean, come on, guys. Yeah, that's
that's the same dude that was complaining about not being able to get bang high schoolers. I mean,
I saw that today. I was like, oh no. It all makes sense.
Yep.
You know what makes a lot of sense is I finally figured out why that Sam Brennan guy is always in dresses. Dude doesn't take luggage anywhere. He just picks up luggage at the airport now.
On the go wardrobes of other people.
Yeah, he opens up one and it has like a leather straps and paddles. He's like, well, it's going to be a fun weekend this weekend.
Frank's become a dog rapist apologist over here because he's like, look, Sam Brinton didn't actually dress like that on purpose. It's just he had nothing with him. Like this guy's just poor. He just picks up whatever luggage he can get. Like you can't actually knock him for his dress style. Like it's not his fault that the luggage he picks up happens to have this crazy bright blue lipstick and some red high heels. And then I said I think that the whole dog thing isn't even his fault. He just ended up getting a doggy bag. He should have realized when it said bad bitch on the doggy bag on the luggage that it was for the person's dog. But it's not good on picking up on context.
That's how he got the job. He's friends with Hunter Biden, and Hunter told Joe, "My friend is real good at securing the bag." He didn't know what that meant, but he was hired on the spot.
Cactus, the pedophiles work on the other side of the office. I don't talk to them.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. I was coming up with this whole crazy conspiracy with that. Oh,
you're just a fan of Matt Damon, and you don't like to see his name be dragged through the mud. That's what it is, Frank.
But you got to think, like, he's a guy who at least believes he can get away with anything. Like, he is just at a level where he's just probably trying. Like, I wonder if I could.
I mean, up to this point, has he been wrong though? Like, he's literally gotten away with everything. Like, this guy
he's still employed. He's still employed.
Exactly.
And he'll get away with this too. Like, that's what's so frustrating is like I've just become like a little bit black-pilled on anybody actually getting any jail time, because you can watch Hunter Biden, you can see pictures of him having sex with his 14-year-old cousin. It's like, yeah, but we have to go after the accusers. We're not sure. Maybe it was a Russian hack. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, that's the story here. It's not the fact that he's banging his 14-year-old cousin. It's the Russian hack. It's the story.
How are you guys still on YouTube?
We don't know.
Whoa.
Hey, it wasn't. Well, I mean, I guess her feet is her. Yeah, you're right.
Going right for it.
Nice.
Right in. Feet first.
I'll never eat M&Ms the same. That's what I'll say about that.
Oh, I thought they were Skittles. Either way, yeah, no good.
They were the mini M&Ms that you get.
I was corrected. I thought they were Skittles too, because the verb was skittle dicking his niece, but now it's apparently not skittle dicks, it's M&M. I was wrong. I made a whole song about it, so.
Thank you, Tom. That was nice.
Is that on your SoundCloud? Your SoundCloud rap profile?
It's on Odyssey. Yeah, you can find it on Odyssey.
It's on Bandcamp.
Yep.
Bandcamp.
Yep. It's called Hunter
was a thing.
Crack Rock Star Biden.
Because we all just want to be big crack stars. I like it. I don't know if you're joking. Is there an actual song? Because
I have a song called Hunter Crack Rock Star Biden. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I gotta listen to this.
Oh my gosh. What were you drinking there, Salty? Is that a Coke?
That's just Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
With
all of you guys were wrong, by the way.
We're all wrong. Yeah.
If I drink for every single super chat, I'm going to be lit by like half an hour in, you guys.
Oh my gosh. So, what was that question we wanted to ask him when we were talking, Tom? Wanted to ask him.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, PJ. Jump in.
I was gonna say we were talking about steak, because that's what got us in trouble last time. Was asking people how they like their steak prepared. But no, it's just a joke.
We're good.
Oh, okay.
We don't want to
know. It did glitch out for a second
there. How he likes his steak?
No. Did you see that story about the Project Veritas, where they exposed that superintendent? It was the dean of education, dean of academics in Chicago.
Yeah, I didn't watch the video, but I read the articles about it, because I don't know, my soul is being chipped away by listening to all of these just open and out pedophiles. But again, in California, just not shocked by that type of stuff, because these people, they don't hide it here. I don't know in other parts of the country if these pedo enablers are a little bit more undercover about it, but they real open about it in this place. But yeah, the different sex toys that he wanted little children to be around. Arrest this person. This is why I think it's so important that we, at bare minimum, we got to start taking back these sheriff positions, because how is that not an arrestable offense? You've got sex toys with small children. That's a clear arrest for me, and an investigation upon anybody who's totally fine with that. Because you're just insane.
Yeah, no, fair point. It's when are the sheriffs are going to get activated to take care of things like that? Because it's happening. If it's happening there in these areas, we see it happen in Chicago. We see it happen in Pennsylvania. We see Libs of TikTok is continuing to expose these individuals along with Project Veritas. It's a much more deeply rooted problem within our public school system. That for every one of those, how many others go unreported?
Look at that dude, by the way. That's insane.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, has anyone looked more like a Pixar character to you?
Yeah.
He looks like a Pixar guy.
He looks like if Pixar was, showing a pedophile. But I will say this, though, like you said, taking back the sheriff's office, and it's a problem in California. But what gets to me is I think people forget that earlier this year, it was Texas, of all places, that the police were actually arresting or escorting, I should say, parents or protesters who didn't want parents taking their 5-year-olds into strip clubs.
Yeah.
So it's not like it. That's what's so crazy to me is people, I hear this constantly. Oh, that'll never happen in Texas, or that'll never happen in Florida, or these places. And I'm like, it is happening though, and it is happening, and the police are enabling it too. So it's I don't know. It's just crazy to me. It's like this is disgusting. It's awful, but it's like you only have to look back a few months to see police like actively keeping people from protesting, and then supporting parents breaking the law in front of them, which is taking children in strip clubs, was already illegal.
Yeah, well, it's going to be harder to take over the police departments because the chief of police and the mayor and the city council, those people are all intertwined. But the sheriff's position is an elected position, and so there's an opportunity to grab that. And these people aren't dumb. They grabbed all of these positions knowing exactly what they were going to be doing. As you've seen the George Soros operatives, all of these I mean, this is why they threw that Sheriff Arpaio out in Arizona. I don't know, like 8 years ago at this point now?
I remember that. Yeah.
They
2018?
Yeah. And they go, we got to get rid of him because he's a racist. No, you got to get rid of him because he ain't going to put up with any of this nonsense that you guys are doing in Arizona, because Arizona apparently extraordinarily key to you guys because you're running a lot of children and drugs through that open border down there. And so they're not, I mean, these people, I think a lot of people on our side, and, it's easy to make the AOC videos. It's easy to make the Elon Omar videos. It's easy to make these videos of these useful idiots who've been put in these positions of power as puppets. But the people behind them and putting them in these positions of power, these are some evil sons of bitches, and they know exactly what they're doing. They planned this out, and they put a lot of money, time, effort, and resources into it. And they've got a game plan that exceeds our, most of people, everybody that I'm around, like we're like, okay, well, how are we going to get food on the table this week? These people don't operate like that. They don't care about this. These are generational thinking individuals, and they're sitting there going, well, I want my great grandkid to be king of Arizona. So what do I got to do in my position right now to make that happen 150 years from now? They've been doing this, and so there's a reason why in all these places where they were allowed to burn. A lot of people go, well, Antifa gets out there, they burn. Antifa don't burn anything down because they're strong and empowered. Antifa's burning shit down because they're allowed to burn shit down, because these people have ganked all of these positions of power, and they've turned off law and order. These aren't motivated individuals. These aren't individuals who can get together and form a coherent sentence and a game plan. These are people who are allowed to set these places on fire, and they've been allowed to set these places on fire because operatives have been put in place.
Well, that's why they wanted to
Sorry,
show up
we've got a bunch of super chats on this side telling everyone they have to drink. Sorry.
I was going to say, that's why they shut up the journalists who wanted to expose the fact that George Soros was paying these protesters to, well, not just to show up, but he was actually buying them flights and hotels to go from city to city back in the summer of love of 2020. So,
you can see the same Antifa van. It's in Portland,
right?
And then somebody gets shot in Minneapolis, and it's the same Antifa van.
Yeah. Yep.
It's all over, and we have these, as you said, they've infiltrated all these sectors. We see them, kneeling for BLM as they went through the cities back in 2020, and not doing anything. But the people that were actually protesting against vaccine mandates and mask mandates and shutting down people's businesses, no, those people got arrested, shut down, and thrown into gulags. So we see how they treat each other, and we see how they treat protesters. We got January 6th guys, they're still in gulags over there. I wish we would actually had a base military, kind of like what we see happening in Brazil right now.
I just want to pause really quick. Waffle Salter with the huge $100 super chat.
Oh.
Cheers, Berserkers. Wow, thank you, Waffle Salter.
Thank you, Waffle Salter.
Waffle Salter,
Nice
our
work, brother.
meme master.
Yeah.
This was by
So-
design. They implemented policies that drove good people out of the police and out of the military, and now they can do whatever they want now that all the good people are gone.
Yeah.
So my question is, the guy at the Chicago school that you pay $38,000 a year for so your kid can get a butt plug, he says that's the best part of his job. What's the worst part?
What when he is on the receiving end of said butt plug? Or maybe that's the best part, Tim. I don't know. I mean,
it's Tom, but that's right.
Do we want to?
Good Lord.
I know you said that you kind of like blackpilled on these clips, Salty, but do we want to play a little bit of it for people? Because to me,
it's only 2 minutes.
Well, I just want to play a little bit of it because he keeps repeating himself, so you don't have to play the whole thing. But like, to me, it's crazy because this guy is a guy who's so beyond excited to talk about this that he can't shut up about it.
Hey, before you do that, just want to call out Tater and Eggs for $100 I got here.
Tater and Eggs.
Yeah, so thank you so
Beautiful.
much, my friend.
Yeah. Do you have the video there? Okay, sweet.
Yep.
Had like our LGBTQ plus health center come in. They were passing around butt plugs and dildos to my students, talking about queer sex, using lube versus using spit.
Meet Joe Bruno, Dean of Students at the prestigious Francis W. Parker Private School in Chicago, which happens to charge $40,000 per student.
They're just like passing around dildos, butt plugs. The kids are just playing with them. They're like, how does this butt plug work? How does this work? That's a really cool part of my job.
Parents might be stunned to learn that Bruno's version of love and acceptance means handing out sex toys to underage students.
So I've been the dean for 4 years. During Pride, we do a Pride Week every year, and I had our LGBTQ plus health center come in. They were passing around butt plugs and dildos to my students, talking about queer sex.
What's crazy to me is when I first heard this clip, I was listening to a podcast. I wasn't watching it. And I thought the podcaster had looped the clip because he says this so many times. Yep. Like there's another minute and a half of it, and we don't have to play it because it's literally him saying the exact same line over and over and over. And he's just like excited to talk about this. He's like super proud of himself. He's like, look how progressive I am. Look how great this is that we're passing around dildos and butt plugs and talking about spit. He says the same freaking line over and over like a broken record. And the kids are right to ask,
like, what does this do? How do I use this? What does this do? Because nothing. You don't use it. It doesn't work. How does this work? No, don't ask. Don't tell.
And somebody did say that, does this guy look like the arms dealer we just sent back for Brittney Griner?
He kind of does, though. I wonder if there's been a huge uptick in people renting Lords of War off of Amazon Prime right now. Because you guys know that's who that was based on, right?
Yeah,
Nick Cage, Lord of War.
Yeah, Lord of War was based on the guy that we just sent back to Russia. So
now, isn't it interesting that they also, as part of his release, one of the stipulations is Victor Boot cannot make any money from stories of his life or likeness? I think that's a little interesting.
Considering that right now that movie that most people didn't see in 2007 is getting like huge numbers.
Well, they're going to have to remake it, but now as him as the villain.
I said the hero.
They didn't realize they were going to have to roll on one of their own spies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fair trade, wasn't it, Salty? Brittney Griner for Victor Boot.
I love it. I think this is. Did you see? There's a video of him. I think he's being interviewed on RT, and he's explaining how, first of all, there's an interview from I think 2012 where he says, "Listen, I want to get out of here." He goes, "Yeah, America won't be around in another 20 years. You guys are an empire in collapse because I'm going to walk right out of this place." He was 100% right, and now he's back in Russia, and they're all making fun of us. They're sitting there going, look, the Merchant of Death is more upset about an American Marine being left in Russia than the lefties in this country are. And I think that this is an eye opener for normies.
Well, wouldn't you be mad too if you were traded back for Brittney Griner?
Oh, listen, I would hang myself.
It would be embarrassing.
He's like, wait, I was worth a lot more than just her.
You guys ever see the movie Semi-Pro where they traded Woody Harrelson's character for a washing machine? That's kind of what this trade felt like.
If we were actually sure she was a woman, I would be a little bit more on board with saving a woman from a Russian prison.
They gave him a haircut.
Well, they cut
him back with a nice.
Why he's wearing a hood? They cut off all.
Got a nice high and tight. Yeah, they gave him the men's military mandatory.
Oh, that's interesting.
It makes you wonder if he was being kept where we were told he was being kept in the female section of the prison or not.
My son played me a clip, and we were in the car. He's like, "Dad, have you heard her talk? Why does he sound like a guy?" I said, "Probably because he is."
Like, give us the Merchant of Death, and we won't say she's a woman.
Yeah,
Man.
they can't surgically remove your Adam's apple, so that thing always there.
Think about that though. Like, wouldn't that be the bargaining chip to be like, hey, we're going to expose the fact that you guys have had a man playing in the WNBA for years? I mean, there's articles coming out today, like right now. Let me show you this one real quick about Brittney Griner and how she came. Sorry, I just got to read this headline. Brittney Griner's finally freed, but her peril is that of black women in America. And I made this joke on Twitter yesterday, not thinking someone would make it a headline. And then if you read the article, it's like, well, really, the problem with Brittney Griner is a gender pay gap. And I have two thoughts on this. One, no, there's not, considering that there's only women in the WNBA. Not a possible way to do a pay gap. And my other thought is, well, maybe they're right, except that Brittney Griner's getting the more money for being a dude in the WNBA. But I don't know. It's just
what was that the Babylon Bee you just pulled up there?
You would think so. I can't tell the difference between them and MSNBC anymore. I literally can't.
Neither can MSNBC, for the record.
Well, NBC had to alter their headline to match what the Biden regime was putting out, because they were denying that Saudi Arabia helped broker the deal, and they're like, no, they didn't help. It was just all us. We were the ones that brokered this deal. We didn't need any help. And they're like, the Saudis are like, yeah, we helped you guys put this thing together.
Is Joanna Man CIA predictive programming? That's the real question here.
Yep.
That was a movie, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Now that we've heard so many trans people argue about how like trans should be accepted purely on the basis that every once in a blue moon a circumcision is botched, that they have to make it into a lady like those weird scientists try to do. I wonder if that is a Joanna Man / Brittney Griner situation, like born a man but had a botched one, and so now he is a lady in the WNBA and we all have to okay it. I wonder if that's the situation. This
is how the trans movement started, though. It was the John Money experiments, and they actually did that too. They botched circumcision, and they decided to make the kid into a girl. And John Money took this kid and was like, I'm going to brainwash this kid into thinking he's a girl, until the kid ended up committing suicide later in life. So
that wasn't the only kid, is what I'm thinking. There probably more of them.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is like, if that's how the whole trans movement started, it wouldn't be surprising if it's happened. That same thing has been repeated.
Salty, you're in San Francisco. How many neighbors of yours are trans?
How many aren't?
Yeah, right. That's probably an easier way to count.
Yeah. It's interesting because it's much like everything else. And I don't want to say that there are no trans people in San Francisco, but much like everything else, it's amplified.
Right.
And so I think I've run into maybe two people who are clearly dudes pretending to be chicks. It's completely over. Like we're in another. This is one of these mass psychosis situations where, again, there's not that. Listen, inside San Francisco, I don't go anywhere near San Francisco, to be honest with you. I haven't been to San Francisco in like 6 years, but San Francisco's always been weird. But on the periphery, there's not that many. There's not that many.
It's crazy because I'm in Loudoun County and I know 7 young women who identify as men, but there is a specific clinic here that targets them. It's called the Pride Clinic, and they're spitting them out like it's a conveyor belt.
Yeah, I imagine it's probably more in I just outed myself. If I was anywhere near the schools are manufacturing those kids right now. So yeah. If you give it another few years, I'll probably see a crap ton more. But the school, there's a graph or an image where it shows the gender reassignment surgery clinics. And like 6 years ago, there was one on the East Coast and one in San Francisco. And now today, it's everywhere. It's not in the middle of America.
They're like color coded based on what they offer.
So you saw that, Tom? It's insane. Again, we are dumping a ton of federal money into this. It is all being paid and manufactured by our tax dollars, and they getting rich off of this.
Well, you can actually compare that chart that you're talking about, or that map that you're talking about, to the charts of the online searches, and then compare that to the rates. Like they all are exactly hand in hand. So the more that's talked about, the more that's put in schools, the more that it becomes a social contagion, as Abigail Schreier talked about, and the more clinics you see and the more people identifying as you see, it's like hand in hand. They're exactly the same rate. Exactly the same rate.
That's why you got to give Bill Maher credit where it's due when he, the lefty, says, you know, are we making these people when in California it's much higher a rate than it is in Ohio when you have the difference in ideology and then you have the difference in output of kids that want to cut themselves apart?
Sorry, what? I was reading the
No,
chats.
well, you know, it would be
wasn't
more
paying attention.
impactful if he didn't continue to vote Democrat every chance he got, or continue to shill for the Democrat Party. It's nice that he will sit there and throw us a couple bones, but ultimately he sits there and he goes and encourages
I wasn't saying
people to go.
He's no
vote for him.
hero. I just said credit where it's due that he's even seeing that and willing to point it out. That's all.
Sure.
Yeah.
Frank,
Yeah,
were you like
keep
listening to a voicemail there or something?
No,
We all could hear that.
I had to add a wrench to one of the mods and I had to do it from my phone, so because I only have one screen.
But we have a teacher in the chat. This is Cactus saying the school where she works at has been massively taken over by this crap through social emotional learning. So this is like a direct. It's in the curriculum at this point.
Cheers. Thank you, Waffle Salter.
Thank you, Waffle
Awful
Salter.
with another one. Thank you.
Yeah, and Real Truth Cactus as well is entirely right. It's being, like I said, there's a direct correlation between what's being shown in the schools, what's being shown in the media, what's being talked about with our kids online, and the rate of people identifying as LGBTQ, AAI, GAF, and the gender clinics. They're all exactly the exact same rate. I mean, Abigail Schreier said it best. Like, she has the best book on this, I think. I have not read the other one. I don't know if you guys have the When Harry Became Sally. I've heard that one's really good. But Irreversible Damage. Yeah, but Irreversible Damage by Abigail Schreier was really good. I always suggest that one to people.
There's a clinic in Europe. Is it called the Tavistock that got shut down? And Sally probably knows. The Tavistock is shutting down because of complaints. I don't know what the rate of trans kids there is, but maybe that's like the dropout rate. Like, we hit a certain point where people then go, okay, enough. Maybe we're almost there. I don't know what their rate was.
Is that the Tavistock Institute?
Right.
Yeah. Well, so what they're clearly doing is in these public schools that don't teach anything other than emotional learning at this point. They even explicitly say this in their curriculum at this point. They have they've created a society in Western civilization where people are just absolutely at their frayed ends. And so you're watching nuclear families being destroyed. You're watching the fraying of the family unit. And this is causing a rampant amount of stress in the household environments. And what's happening is these children are being completely neglected as the parents are trying to fight through inflation. They're trying to fight through the supply chain issues and just COVID shutting down everything. This is having long-term ramifications on the pocketbook of your average American. And the kids are watching parents fight, and the families are being destroyed, and the kids are being neglected. And then the kids go to the school, and the school goes, "Oh my God, you're being super duper neglected. Oh, well, we super duper love you as long as you're gay." And the kid goes, "I got to be gay?" And then they go, "Well, listen, gay like anything these days, except for being straight. Like if you thought another person looked good in a shirt or something in the same sex, that's now queer.
It's a new gender.
Yeah,
it's a new gender.
They'll just make up. So everybody's under this umbrella as long as you're not straight. And if you're under this umbrella, then the school counselor will give you some time. Your teacher will give you some time. These other weirdos will give you. This is why there's when you got a group of kids, that's always going to attract pedophiles. But the amount of pedophiles is going to go way through the roof because they don't even have to pretend that they're teaching math or language or English or any of this type of stuff. And so they're just bombarding all of these kids. Well, we'll give you some attention as long as you're not straight. And that's making all of these kids go, "Oh, well, I want this attention because my home life's all screwed up because my parents are fighting all the time." And this is creating a gigantic problem. Plus, every single media that they're consuming is saying, no. Being any of this LGBTQ or STUV stuff is stunning and brave. And the kids are just being socially pushed into this area.
Well, it's exactly that. And I think it gets even worse, too, because now we're seeing these large TikTok trends where they're coming up with 9,000 different genders because it's not enough to be gay anymore. It's not enough to be trans anymore. If you really want to be, if you really want to get attention, you want to stick out, and you want to have your tokenism coin, you have to come up with frog and frog self pronouns, or you have to come up with re and re self pronouns. Yeah, like all these retarded different genders. So it's becoming to the point where it's like, I can't even stand out being gay anymore. It's not enough. Like, and
PJ's really gay. Like, he makes a lot of people aware of it.
I try,
Just
but
doesn't
it's
stand
not
out.
enough. Yeah.
I came out of the closet recently too.
Gay.
Sorry, what was that?
You have
Frank,
kids-
can you say that again?
I was waiting.
feel gay.
Oh, okay.
You have kids that are really sad, really lonely, desperately searching for some sort of significance, some sort of way to explain why they feel the way that they do. And a lot of times it's just puberty. It's just, it's high school, but they don't
Or a
know
single
that.
parent home. Like, more kids now than ever have only one parent. So if they're not hearing their parents fighting, it may be because they're only one parent, and then there's not a lot of parenting going on. The only people that are parents to them are the gay teachers.
This is why
it's all of the above. And then they get incredible amounts of positive affirmation the minute they say, oh, I'm non-binary. And then they go on, young woman goes on testosterone, and that makes her feel really, really, really good too. And so it's just layers of positive reinforcement in a terrible direction.
This is why it sells so well, though, and this is why the push is we have to do it young, is because they're telling girls, oh, you don't feel like you're in your own body when you're going through puberty, as if anybody in history ever did. Like, as if puberty isn't that time in your life where you actually feel like your body doesn't make sense and you hate it. They're like, oh, that feeling, that means you're trans. And that's why they have to push it younger and younger and younger, because there's that window where you're like, man, I really don't feel like something's wrong. Because you're going through changes. And it's just like, they know that, but
I guess I'll be the odd man out and say I never thought that something was wrong, but I get what you're saying.
Well, I'm talking about girls specifically, like, because that's who they're targeting. So
Tom just always knew he was right.
Tom always knew. Yeah. He was born with that beard. We all know it.
I was like 11. I was like, all right, time to start shaving.
You went through puberty at 5. So like, that's you're just offset on this whole thing.
Sixth grade. Yeah.
Timothy, you're exactly right. Loudoun County has the depth of the evil is not known yet.
We're going to find out that Loudon means like something evil in Latin someday.
Yeah. Type
Native
in like
American.
Balenciaga into the Google Translator.
Yeah, it means like Satan is Lord or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get Elizabeth Warren to translate what that is, because it might be a Native American name too.
I thought it was because she's a code breaker. A wind talker.
And the suicide rates here are horrific.
Well, that's why they continue to allow TikTok to operate here in the U.S. If you look at TikTok China compared to TikTok United States, it's completely different. What they allow the Chinese kids to be able to be exposed to what they allow American kids to be, or the West to be exposed to, completely two different things. Where they're showing like things to make them better at math and reading and stuff like that, and they're like, "Hey, go chop off your penis over here in the West."
I've heard that. That's what it is. I don't have TikTok here, so I don't know, but I don't have TikTok in China either.
I thought you were saying you heard to go chop off your penis, and you were like thinking about it.
Hesitating on that one.
Salty, let me know. Does Tom look like if he shaved the beard and put on a bikini, he could be Dylan Mulvaney?
Oh yeah, you just have to have the really insulting woman stereotypes. You'd be all set.
I'm afraid of bugs. Ah!
Oh my god!
I'm afraid to walk at night. Ah! Yeah, we're almost there.
Yeah, I'm blown away that more women aren't finding that horribly offensive.
Yeah, our friend Abby here.
Do you mean him being a minstrel show of women? Yeah. That's what you mean? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
I
crazy.
call it menstrual shows, but yeah.
Menstrual show.
Oh.
Yeah,
Abby got it right too. Yeah.
Abby was approached by some British news show that wanted to talk about her tweet that went viral. Her talking about how drag is basically blackface.
Yeah, it totally is. What they're doing with these stupid TikToks and showing it to small children and amplifying it is it's no different than a minstrel show of the 20s or 30s. It's crazy. The guy came out whoops is misgendered, I think. The dude came out I think yesterday, and he put out a video going, "Oh my god, I'm just like a woman, and the fact that you hate me, it makes me sad, but I still love you." And then at the end of like this 3 minute long TikTok, the dude goes, And by the way, I feel super duper sorry for all of you with your wrong think because time is coming. It's a threat. There's a direct threat at the end of this thing. I'm sitting there going, I'm having a real hard time taking a threat from a dude who weighs about 75 pounds. And he's wearing makeup.
Yeah, didn't he say like, ladies, you know that Twitter's forever, so be careful what you say. It was like a total threat too. It was like blatant.
I wouldn't want somebody to dig it up and show people later.
Yeah, not realizing the irony in that statement.
Yeah.
Was that the same video where the dude was complaining about not having a uterus?
Yeah, he was talking about how he carries tampons around and how his gal pals, as he calls them,
$10 if you know where he puts them.
They're soaked in vodka. That'll help you with
I
that.
saw a picture of a middle school or a high school where they put a tampon machine up in the boys' bathroom.
They ripped it off, I hope.
They ripped it off and threw it in the toilet.
Yeah, it's in the toilet. It's a good picture of This is a hate crime.
What do you think would happen?
The FBI showed up.
Yeah, boys used to take the toilet, like all the different things off, the paper towel, the dispensers, all of that. They wouldn't think that they'd take the tampon thing off. It's crazy.
Especially that, man. Busting it open, wetting the tampons and throwing them up on the roof.
There's a reason why women's restrooms have like scented candles and couches, and men's are like look like a prison. Like we're animals. Like in high school, everybody's just an animal. Like I went to one school where they literally took the doors off the stalls because people were vandalizing them so often. So if you wanted to take a shit, you had to sit there like and hope nobody else came in the bathroom. Like that was a real thing.
In the bathrooms when I was a kid, we pissed in a trough. It's like,
yeah,
dude, what was that school built?
It was built in the 70s.
Yeah,
but I mean, nobody cares.
Yeah, all concrete, not many windows in those buildings.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I feel like they would stand a bomb.
Are you getting school and juvie mixed up?
No, you forgot about these Cold War schools that were built during a time where they didn't know what they'd withstand. So they had all these no windows in the classrooms.
Lead paint thing.
Yep. All the chips you can eat.
They're still finding schools in Oakland with lead. I'm like, this is 2022.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're still painting schools with lead in Oakland.
Yeah, that's what it is.
No. Oakland's a big
Well,
mess.
look, if they still have lead in the water in Flint, I mean, what do you think they can't give a shit about paint for?
Yeah.
The kids can't read anyway, so why would they even bother?
Well done, Salty. I mean, Ocean Breeze Salty, not Pea Salty.
They tied the tampon string into a noose and the FBI was called. That's fun.
Jussie Smollett was seen leaving the scene.
He said, "This is trans country."
Oh my gosh.
Oh, no.
We've gone off the rails.
I know we had like 5 minutes. We wanted to save for any questions for Salty. I don't know that we got any questions.
No, we didn't get any.
From the we told people before you got on. We'd field some questions if there were any.
Chats, but I don't know if I see any questions. I'll read through them real quick.
Which is just fine because I mean, that's just as well.
Lots of love.
Well, we do have you on. What do you see for the 2024 election? Do you see Trump being the nominee, or do you see actually DeSantis actually jumping in and actually challenging him?
Honestly, I hate to put this out there as a black pill all the way out. I'm hoping that what's happening at Twitter is part of a new tactic. I don't like Donald Trump. Listen, 2020's got to be fixed. 2016's got to be explained. And I'm all in for my orange man. That being said, we need a new tactic for what's happening. And I want to see him come out. I want to see him explain that, we got to hit this in a different direction, that he's working with people, exposing Twitter, exposing the shenanigans. But constantly asking, let's have this overturned or let's do a redo. We ain't doing any of that. None of that's going to happen. I want a more concrete plan for moving forward. And I think he's got one. I think he doesn't want to tip his cards or anything at this point. So I'm hoping he comes out as we get closer. I'm hoping he starts doing some rallies where he's like, listen, we're going to do X, Y, and Z. Here's the game plan. And I'm hoping that he gets on Twitter and, a lot of people are like, well, he's got to deal with True Social. Listen, he's got hundreds of millions of people that are going to listen to him if he jumps on Twitter. And I think that's coming. I think that's part of the plan. I hope that's in the cards. But he doesn't seem as... I'm feeling a little like, where's the energy?
Yeah.
You announced a month ago, and I'm excited. I'm awesome. Let's go. But I also want a pissed off and crazy Donald Trump who's got nothing left.
2015.
Yeah.
I want him to go for the juggler, and I don't. Right? Listen, some people are going to say it's too early for that. I don't know if it's too early. These election cycles are moving like this.
Yeah.
We need him back on those caffeine pills is what we need.
Yeah,
we
give
need
him some Adderall. Yeah, snort it.
Load
I
him
don't care
up.
what you do. Yeah, I want. Yeah, listen. I want him. I was expecting him to come into this guns blazing, and that's metaphorically speaking. FBI, I know you listening to this, and I could see DeSantis going, "Listen, if Trump doesn't bring the 2015 energy, I'm going to slide in on this." And again, I love DeSantis. I think you guys got an incredible dude who's actually putting stuff into motion. It's awesome. But if DeSantis runs, the Democrat steals it even easier.
I have a one theory about the whole Trump thing, because we were talking about this before stream, how it feels like Trump's been really quiet. Like, we were all expecting that energy. And I just wonder if part of it is he's distancing himself from the Kanye Nick Fuentes stuff, and he's kind of letting Kanye hang himself with his own rope for once. And then after that whole saga's done, he's going to just come out guns blazing. I wonder if that's a smart strategy on his part, but I think it could be. I mean, I'm just trying to be hopeful, because I'm waiting for that too. Like, I want Trump to just come out like guns blazing, like you said.
We did have one question for Salty. We did have one question.
Yes, I want to get to this one.
Waffle Salter. He says that we only got 2 minutes with him left, and can we get Salty as Fauci versus Thomas Trump?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We all know coronavirus, it came from China, but we all know it was Fauci that made it.
Oh, no, I didn't make it in the basement with Bill Gates. Stop it.
He's a liar. He's a liar, and we all know he's lying. And we all know he's lying, and everyone knows it, because Dr. Fauci's a fraud. He's a fraud, and it came from China.
Stop it. I didn't come with any material. I'm sorry.
Put us on the spot there. There we go. We'll work on it.
Fauci, you take your beagle for a walk this morning? Or
are you talking about my dog or my wife? Oh, I shouldn't have done that.
The January 6th committee tried to clip that.
He was crying about that. He was saying that like people were coming after his wife. He said vicious trolls are coming after him and his wife. I guess that's what you get. Yeah. Responsible for 9 million people dying.
Yeah. Be less worried about us pointing out that your wife looks like a dude, and more concerned that we know you killed 6 million people.
He picked up his wife same place where Obama picked up his. I mean,
yeah, it's at the Tavistock Outgoing.
That's what I was about to say.
Patient release.
Oh, well, Salty, it's been a fantastic 45 minutes on with you. We thank you so much for coming on and being part of our pubcast tonight. It obviously was a something I've been looking forward to for since we did the communication on it. So thank you so much, and on behalf of everybody here, I just want to say thank you once again.
Hey, thanks everybody.
It's great having you on, Salty.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Hey, guys,
right,
take care.
See you, man.
God bless.
There you go.
How fun.
Yeah, that was
How
great.
fun.
I love Salty Cracker. Guys,
Oh,
good dude.
Man. Good dude. Yeah, man. Woo, we still have an hour left, man. I don't know if we got enough to keep going. I'm just kidding. We got plenty of material to keep going.
Man, that was fun though. I'm really glad we got Salty on. That was a blast.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
So the Salty Army has been amazing, by the way.
We should say now, before everyone runs away or clicks off, like, share, subscribe wherever you are watching, grab a link wherever you're watching, help support the channel that you're watching, help us grow on all the different platforms, and help us all keep America afloat. Back to you, Frank.
Yeah, definitely. I think I see Salty leaving the SUV, headed out of here now. Out the back.
Such a funny joke.
I know. It wasn't very funny.
I just said it was. It was hilarious.
Whatever, Tom.
Off the rails. The rails. We're off of them.
We're off the rails. Absolutely. All right. Well, let's keep on going.
Let's talk about Waukesha for a minute so Frank has something to talk about.
This is the only reason why Frank hasn't been banned off YouTube yet, is because he doesn't pronounce anything correctly.
He says Waukesha. Waukesha.
Waukesha? What are you talking about, Waukesha? Speaking of black people.
Yeah, the city in Wisconsin named Sharkeisha. That's just a suburb of Detroit.
Actually, talking about black people, racism has been solved. I didn't know if you guys heard about this or not, but it's been solved. Disney has announced they are closing the racist Splash Mountain ride down for good.
Good.
Yeah. Have you ever guys rode to? Have you, any of you guys been to Disney?
I love that one. One of my favorite pictures from the Disney World trip, where I was like 3 and my sister's a little bit older, that was like a fun family memory, is on Splash Mountain, us in the front row, all our hands up. But I didn't realize it was completely racist. So now I kind of feel bad about it.
I have literally zero plans to ever visit Disney again, but I will say, when I went to Disney the first time, Disney World, the Splash Mountain was the first ride I ever rode, and it's one of my favorites. So I'm trying to remember what it is they claim is racist.
It's because it's based on Song of the South, which is it's like animals that were used to be slaves and now they're not slaves. It's basically it's based on stories told by former slaves. Is the book. So then they think that representing it. Yeah, well, dude, that's what Aunt Jemima, she got silenced. You got Mrs. Butterworth, she got knocked off. You got Uncle Ben's, he's probably next. So, you got these, Zatarans, is he a black guy? I'm thinking, he's just a silhouette. At some, that's not good. At some point, though, it's just a shadow of a man. It's like Peter Pan's shadow. That was bad. But these people are getting removed. It's not because they're, not successful black people. And the Song of the South is like, hey, here's what black people said was so bad then. They can't have that being discussed now because it doesn't jibe with their current narrative. So get rid of it.
To be fair, though, Peter Pan's shadow was raised in Detroit, but
he had to stitch it on. He had to stitch it to his feet, otherwise it would run away.
Hey, we're not.
That's how you know it was.
Place. Yeah.
Well, he was trying to arrest it, so he was on the line.
Hitting the black guys like, the Peter Pan shadow? Am I being detained? The whole thing, yeah. You just couldn't.
I'm excited for the day when literally nothing is racist. When you can just walk around saying, "What's up, my MAGAs?" But not that one.
I had a point, but I've lost it at this.
Well, I just know it's been solved. It's been solved. Disney solved it.
It's been solved. I think Aunt Jemima would have been fine if she just would have put the name of some Canaanite child sacrifice god on their label, then they would have been totally fine. So
Moab syrup, Bale syrup.
Yeah, Bale syrup. It would have been totally fine.
It's my favorite kind of syrup. I can't wait to when it goes buy one get one free again.
Good Lord. Hey, everyone, did you know at home, for the folks watching, for the fans, Frank used to work in a grocery store. Frank, why don't you tell us all about the grocery time?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It was absolutely amazing. I worked at public supermarkets.
You thought I was joking.
Yeah,
he's dead serious.
I don't work there anymore. I retired a couple years ago.
He knows everything about grocers.
I do. I bore these guys with grocery facts all the time.
Sometimes he just texts me random grocery facts, which is odd. Like, did you know that cabbage can actually last a week longer than the date? I'm like, can you? Frank, it's 3:00. In the morning.
Thinking about cabbage. Yeah.
Wow.
I have a story if we want to move on.
Please.
Please.
There was our favorite actress of all time. We found out has broken through some glass ceilings. So Disney solved racism, but Jennifer Lawrence is now, she had back during her Hunger Games days, solved sexism. And I just want to play this clip for you guys.
Or the Fappening 2.
It was Fappening 2 is when she solved sexism. Yeah.
I remember when I was doing Hunger Games, nobody had ever put a woman in the lead of an action movie because it wouldn't work. We were told girls and boys can both identify with a male lead, but boys cannot identify with a female lead.
Oh, absolutely.
And it just makes me so
Who's that,
happy
Viola
every
Davis?
single time
Yeah,
I
it's
see
Viola
a lead
Davis.
come out that just
She's everywhere.
flows through
Mhm.
every single one of those beliefs and proves that it is just a lie to keep certain people out of the movies, keep certain people in the same positions that they've always been in. And it's just amazing to watch it happen and watch you at the helm.
Yeah. So what was that headline? Do you have that headline from the Babylon Bee, Abby?
I do. Sigourney Weaver thanks Jennifer Lawrence for paving the way for female action heroes. So stunning and brave.
Like this is what gets, by the way, thank you, Timothy Brown, for the super chat. This is what gets to me is like, they can say this stuff as if we don't live in a Google age and as if people don't have memories, as if we haven't all seen Alien and Aliens and Point of No Return and Terminator 2. And like, movie after movie after movie, like as if Hunger Games, which came out when, like 2008 or I can't remember. I think I was in high school when it came out.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
Tom, when was it? Tom?
Oh man, I would have to guess at 2010. But my thought is her fans don't know those movies of old because her fans are her age or younger. And I think like she doesn't know because since she was young, being an actress, she's been doing movies. So she's not watching the old ones. She's not watching Alien. She doesn't know about Predator or all of the different Predators.
Well, she knows
probably is
she
aware
knows
of in
about
Hollywood.
Predator.
Yeah.
She knows
about Weinstein, that's for sure.
That's her only,
Jesus Lord.
that's her only reference to Predator.
They go, did you see Predator? And she's like, who, Weinstein? Terrible.
You know, I don't think you're entirely wrong though, because I've noticed this, and maybe it's just because like when I grew up, my parents like to watch older movies, but it seems like anybody that's younger than 30 today has never seen a movie before 1990.
Yep.
And am I wrong on this? I just like if I have any movie
Or
reference,
even
it's
90s
like,
movies. Like
yeah,
some of the 90s films.
Yeah.
Like they don't know Screwed. They don't know
Wayne's World,
Dirty Work. They don't know some of these. Yeah, Wayne's World. Well, yeah. And any of the SNL people that made movies in the 90s or 80s, those are movies that people don't know about or don't care about.
Yeah, it's insane about how many like 28-year-olds have never seen Die Hard. I'm talking about Abby here, aren't I? So
it is not my fault. My parents wouldn't let me
It's
watch
the
anything
quintessential Christmas movie.
Yeah,
of all
absolutely.
I have seen Die Hard, the first one.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It's like as if people don't have IMDb. As if that's not like an app that everybody has on their phone and be like, oh yeah, you know, there's been a couple of them.
Yeah, and I think she doubled down on it. There was another article I read where she doubled down on claiming that she broke the glass ceiling for women in action movies.
Do you have a favorite woman action star? That's a no. That's a hard no. Can you even name 5?
Linda Hamilton.
Libby, come on. Feed us some answers here.
I love Blake Lively in that shark movie.
That shark movie, which the one with Paul Walker.
Is that Deep Blue?
Sharknado.
Let me just.
No,
wasn't that Jessica Alba?
Yeah, you're right. You're thinking. I was thinking Jessica Alba.
The Shallows.
Yeah.
I've never seen The Shallows.
Oh, is she stuck on a rock?
Yeah, she's in a situation with.
And the tide is rising and a shark is circling her, something like that.
Yeah.
I will say I don't
Didn't
like
see it.
I don't like Uma Thurman very much, but she was so good in Kill Bill. Like
She
that's
was.
the one.
I actually enjoyed the Kill Bill movies.
Right. Yeah. So
first
like,
one
I loved her in
second
Pop
one.
Culture or Pulp Fiction. Damn it.
Pulp Fiction.
Damn
Yeah,
it.
she's
That's so stupid. Why did I say that?
It's weird because like
I said
out of
Pop
those-
Culture. I meant Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, out of those two movies, like anything outside of that, I can't stand her in. But those two movies are fantastic. She was really good in Pulp Fiction, and I wanted to. I said that because I was looking at this tweet here, and you asked me who my favorite was. I think Joel Berry actually had a really good take on this. Talking, Babylon Bee again. He says these 3 iconic female action heroines have something in common. Motherhood was the centerpiece of their redemptive arc. They were heroes in a way no man could be a hero. They weren't just generic female stand-ins for male action heroes we often see today, and that's the whole problem with Hollywood. Like I think. When you're listening to Jennifer Lawrence, she's going, yeah, I was the first one to basically shift us into like, this could have been a male role, but we're going to make it a female role for no reason at all. And then that's kind of been the stand-in for everything. Like we saw that movie Atomic Blonde where Charlize Theron is like John Wick and she's kicking dudes through walls and everybody's going, that makes no sense at all. But that's like now they want a female James Bond. They want everything to be like female, but not female. We want it to be a male role with a female in it.
I think that's what they did for
the new action film.
For the what is it? Silver Linings Playbook. If you guys got to see that one with Bradley Cooper, he was depressed. She had some kind of problem, but that was originally supposed to be a gay film. They just thought, hey, we can just cast this woman and she can just be a trailblazer and play this character. So it ended up being a straight film, not intended.
In a lot of these movies, not the case with Silver Linings Playbook, but she doesn't even get to play a feminine character.
That's my point. Yeah,
they don't even write a story with feminine themes. They just have a man with boobs.
That's all it is. That's what female action stars are today. They're just men with boobs, and that's what every one of these movies has become. So like when you look back, and that's why she's ignoring all these because they go against what she's saying. When you look back at Alien, you see Ripley going back for the cat. She's doing a very feminine thing. She's a mother. You see Kiddo and Kill Bill going on a rampage to save her daughter, and you see was it Linda Hamilton? Is that right for Terminator 2? She's become this badass action star because she's trying to save her son. It's motherhood is the thing that makes them feminine and makes their characters interesting. And instead, every movie today is like, what if we did John Wick with tits? And it's like, it's stupid.
A Quiet
Like,
Place.
They wonder why nobody wants to see it.
Written by
Quiet
John
Place was
Krasinski. The Quiet
was
Place is another one
fantastic.
where it's like, it's about family. It's about like keeping everyone safe. It's about how do you sacrifice for others in your family and keep everyone together. Like that was a good one. And I think he's kind of more of the family guy because he's less, I think, in the like Hollywoodism. And I think he more just wants to take on like good work. So he does a lot of action stuff now. John Krasinski.
I got to say, Quiet Place was fantastic. That is a movie where it really is about the family and the stakes are high and it's about sacrifice. I can't praise that movie enough. I was surprised how much I liked it because when I saw it, I was like, I don't know. And then I watched it.
It starts off weird.
It was
right. It starts off because you don't have like it's from her perspective. You don't have her hearing aid.
Yeah.
It was my first date with John, my first official one.
Oh,
Did you like The Quiet Place too?
I did.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I was surprised. I usually think sequels.
We
to
were
horror
all
movies
we were
suck.
all asking Abby on that one.
Oh. What did you see Quiet Place 2 for your honeymoon?
Not yet. I've been scared of it because I loved the movie, but I was so mad at the sacrifice, and I was just so mad. At how it
Whoa!
ended. I
Spoiler
didn't
alert!
wanna
Spoiler alert!
see-
We probably have someone that wants to watch it later. In the
I was
1,900
so
people
mad
that
at
are
the
watching on
happy
YouTube alone.
ending. I was so mad at the very happy ending that I didn't want to see anything after that.
I'll just say you should watch it. It's very good. But yeah,
Gender swap Brokeback Mountain. Yes. They did that. It was called.
plot would be gone.
I'm pretty sure Gender Swap Brokeback Mountain is on late night HBO every single night. So or Cinemax every single night. So I don't think that's a breaking the glass ceiling exactly there.
Empowering women.
What would that be
probably
called
get more
if that
people
were a
to
real
watch it,
movie?
though.
Maybe they could do two trans.
Two girls,
persons
one
for that.
saddle.
Two girls.
See my way out.
I can't come up with a better than that. So yeah. Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Off the rails.
Off the rails. Always off the rails.
Yeah.
Always off the rails. Well, we had that. Go ahead. No. Go ahead.
I was saying Abby had a story for us too that she wanted to bring up if we wanted to.
Yeah,
transition
That's
everyone.
what. That's actually what I was about to ask her. So
same page there.
Let's do.
Yes.
We definitely have another story to share, right?
We got
Somewhere?
a couple more. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have it right here, but we had a big ad pop up. Anyway, this is the American Girl company.
What is American Girl?
So American Girl, it's a doll company, fairly high-end dolls, but they sell these dolls and they sell all their accoutrements, but they also sell the stories behind them. So each doll had a series of books. So I grew up reading the books, these little chapter books, and then my grandmother got my sister and I the dolls, and it was just a very, very wholesome, learn about history because they were, dolls from history, and have the dolls play with them, play with all the little things that went in with them. But they have some other books too that they sold, and one of them recently is this book called Body Image: How to Love Yourself, Live Life to the Fullest, and Celebrate All Kinds of Bodies. And the issue with this is that part of it is that they're encouraging these young girls, hey, if you feel like a boy, you can go behind your parents' backs and go get some hormones. And so this is a company, part of, this is evil on its face, right? To give a child a book like this. But part of the evil of this company is that they've built so much trust and legacy over the years of people my age who are having kids. So we had the dolls, we read the books. We're like, this is such a good, wholesome company. I'm going to buy this book for a kid in my life and never even read it, never even think I have to check through this.
Yeah.
And it's poison.
My parents had my sister get a couple. Like she had one that was given to her, I think, from my mom, and they went to Chicago. I think I remember them going to like a Chicago for a girls' weekend for maybe like the Girl Scouts, and they all went and they all got like a new dress for their American Girl doll. It was a very big deal, I remember. So it's awful to see that now they're pushing trans stuff. Like, are they going to have a doll that has, zipper tits or what? What's going on?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Sorry, go ahead, Frank.
Nope.
I
Go
mean,
ahead.
cut you off twice in a row.
All right, rock, paper, scissors.
Is like, I had three sisters growing up, and American Doll was a huge thing. I had a sister who was like really into them and collected them. And just from having seen that much of it, and you're right, in the 90s, like the American Girl stores were a thing. You could buy dresses, whatever. But like looking at the brand from that distance, it seemed like it wasn't only a very wholesome and pro-America brand, it would seem like it was a very conservative brand. It was a very pro-American history. It was none of this woke nonsense. So one of the things that stuck out in this story to me was the fact that this book that you're talking about is not new. This book came out a few years ago, I believe.
Is that about me? Is that about me? That's that chat?
I
The bearded lady in the bottom corner. He said, "Who's that bearded lady in the bottom corner?" And I could.
That's
the
Dylan
screen wasn't on
Mulvaney,
anything else.
Okay, come on, guys.
Oh, Dylan Mulvaney.
How dare you?
How dare you? How dare you?
But you're right. It's not surprising. And to Tom's credit, they would probably have the scars on the where the breast would be. I mean, Blue's Clues had it on one of their shows where they
a little beaver, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So sick.
I dove into the
Is there a double meaning behind that?
Yeah, you did. He dove into that trans beaver. Go ahead.
I did a deep dive on all the children's cartoon symbolism is my point about 6 months ago for an episode I was doing. And the Blue's Clues one, I'd seen that clip a million times, but I never really watched it. And I'll say this, it's way worse when you watch it because I actually had to look up what all the flags and all that stuff meant that they're pushing on your kids. And it includes pedophilia flags and includes one called the Bear Gang, which is like hairy older men for boys. Like this is the type of stuff they're putting in a show for. I mean, I watched Blue's Clues when I was 3 and 4 years old, and they're putting in like it's not just pro gay, pro LGBT, it's pro pedophilia, it's pro kink. Like there was like leather daddy kink flags. Like it was egregious.
Sorry, I didn't mean is there a power bottom flag? I'm interested in knowing what that would look like.
Probably there is. I don't know. There's too many flags. I don't remember them all. But the one that stuck out to me was the bear flag was in it, and it was like hairy older men for young boys flag is what it stood for. And I was like, that's in a show for 3-year-olds. So
gross.
Yeah.
For everyone coming in real quick, just to make a quick announcement. Salty has already left. We had him for the first hour of the show, so he is no longer here. If you want to go back and watch that, you can just rewind about where we at. Yep. So rewind about an hour of the show, and you'll catch him in there. He was here for about an hour. So sorry, PJ.
And if he ever sees this part of the show, thank you again, Salty, for coming on. It was a lot of fun to have you.
Yeah. I had honestly never heard of him, which I think says a lot about censorship. Like,
I think we'd have him on again. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I feel like we could have come back.
I think we'd have him on.
But I think Abby's making a good point. Salty has the Salty Army. He's got a big following. Yet, huge. If you're not in the right circle, you won't know who he is, and that's
because of
censorship,
that virtual filter, right?
Yeah,
the virtual filter.
It's the VF. I'm dead serious.
It's not shadow banning. It's virtual filters or whatever.
Yeah, they're not shadow banning anybody.
I had no idea why Tom and Frank and PJ were so excited to have Salty on, and I looked him up and I was like, oh shoot, he's pretty big.
Yeah. Salty Slav says, Salty saved my life. I would bet you that there are people who got real depressed in 2020 who had been saved, not necessarily like salvation, but saved like, thank God my nights are not dooming now. My nights are maybe having a couple beers and watching someone else bitch like I would be at the wall. And I think a lot of people felt that way in 2020 and through the last couple of years.
Yeah. I would agree with that. I remember when I came across this channel and saw, I was like, wow, this guy's, would say a lot of stuff I would think, but I typically don't say out loud.
Yeah. It's like 2,500 people watching a live stream and you'd be excited to be one of them. And now look at him go. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Breaking records over there on Rumble.
Yeah, I love it. I love seeing Rumble grow. And we're on Rumble too for people who might have been following us on YouTube. We created a Rumble channel now.
Yeah, we are.
And we're going to be live streaming there soon. So I'm going to grab that for you guys and drop it in the chat.
Yeah, Salty's a great guy. I don't know how many different times he shouted out my channel during his streams back in 2020.
Field Marshal General Frank, Dr. Frank.
That's right, Dr. Field General Frank. And I'm indebted to that. I absolutely love that he did that for me, being way smaller than him. And I know I've, shouted out him as many people as I could, but not being as big a channel as him. But it just shows how much he cares about the other creators in this sphere that we, operate in, and that, things that we have to go up against on a daily basis against the visibility filters on these social media companies.
Well, I think it's also important that we recognize, like right now, while it's happening, that this was probably a stream. If we were not being watched before, this is certainly a stream that now we're on the federal government's radar, because Salty was a part of the congressional record for the impeachment trials of January 6th. So, we're like, a couple degrees of Kevin Bacon from being, outlaws.
Almost.
Well,
Yeah.
you guys were already on that list.
Damn.
How do you
Now
think
Salty's
Abby
got an
found
extra
us?
set on him.
I get that comment often. People are like, "Are you on a list?" I'm like, "I'm sure I'm on a list. I'm sure I'm on a couple of lists."
I
I
have not
appreciate that he
flown
came
since
on 'cause-
January 6th or January 7th.
Oh, yeah?
I have not flown since January 7th.
Probably smart.
I did.
Not
but
been
I
able to,
wasn't
or what?
I wasn't there, so.
No, well, I haven't tested it because I was at the Capitol on January 6th.
You know how I know? You know how I know I've been on a list for years is because I used to be able to go and buy a gun and get it same day, which is the law in Michigan, and I have not bought a gun in 5 years without having a week or 2 week waiting period for no reason. They won't tell me what it is.
Seriously?
But every time I go to buy a gun, they're like, "Oh, the FBI says we have to hold this for a little while and just make sure." They won't tell me. They won't tell me why. So for the last I would say about 5 years, if I go to buy a gun, I have to wait a week. So
I'm really happy that, like Frank said, that Salty is willing to give people shout outs like that and to help grow other accounts, because all jokes aside, yeah, he was targeted in that impeachment hearing, but imagine if there weren't an Alex Jones or a Tim Pool or other voices like him, there wouldn't be that record of people, speaking their mind and saying what all of Americans were thinking, whether they were allowed to say it then or not. And I think that's, part of the first step in the process is having the courage to speak up. So props to him for doing that.
Yeah, and to piggyback on a topic we talked about last week about the face-eating cannibals down in Florida who were zombie infected. I came across this story. I thought it was pretty funny because I came across it right after we had the show. If there were a zombie apocalypse, the CDC research shows your best chance for survival is in this red state. Sorry, it is Florida, actually.
I knew it. Total
it's
guess.
not Michigan.
of course,
Not Michigan.
picked up Florida. Look,
Michigan's
I'm going to make a case
red
for
state
Michigan
been
in a
stolen.
minute. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been a
really
red
quick,
state stolen.
Somebody asked us if me and Abby are on the same channel. We are, and I just dropped in the chat if you guys are interested in some conspiracy content. So that's there. But yeah, go ahead and tell me why you think Florida is better than Michigan at this.
Well,
No,
I'll tell you what I'll tell you what WayneDupree.com says
Okay.
about it. How's that? It said, inspired by the U.S. Centers of Disease and Control Prevention Zombie Preparedness Guide for 2011. Yes, the CDC really made this. Researchers at Lawn Love and analyzed 26 key factors that measured zombie preparedness across 200 U.S. cities. When you consider aspects like the number of people in poor health in the community, the number of local supermarkets, the number of hunting supply stores, the number of basements and bunkers under local homes, Orlando, Florida tops the list of the best cities to be in to survive a zombie apocalypse. Orlando finished number 1 in terms of supplies and protection. The city also ranked high in terms of vulnerability and mobility. Moreover, Tampa 6, Miami 8 finished in the top 10, making the Sunshine State your best chance to avoid a gory zombie-related demise. Rounding up the other top 5 zombie-proof cities is Salt Lake City, Honolulu, Portland, and Colorado Springs.
Portland?
You got
Portland?
Dude,
Portland.
they
Portland
also
is
said Honolulu. Honolulu
Portland
is
was taken
screwed.
over. Yeah. Have you seen that? Have you played Dead Island? And also, Portland is already taken over by zombies.
Okay,
Like, they
who
can't-
So
in-
true.
Go ahead.
Who in their right mind hits a zombie apocalypse and says, "I'm going to go to a city"?
Right. Well, I will say this about Portland. They might have a point there because you're less likely to die of zombies even in a zombie apocalypse in Portland than you are from Antifa. So what they're saying isn't that you're safe in general. You just are more likely to get killed by Antifa
You'll be shot-
members. You'll be shot
You'll be
before
shot by a
zombie gets
stray
you.
bullet outside a chop or something like that
Yeah,
before you
absolutely.
get bitten. Salty led me to all of your jokes.
Waffle
Truly
Salter,
thankful for
man.
that.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you so
Waffle
much,
Salter.
That
He
is
says,
amazing.
Salty led me to all of your channels. Truly thankful for that. Cheers.
And while we're saying thanks to people for things, we should all just say right now into the camera how thankful we are for all of the people at home watching and helping to support and generally just cheer for this channel and the different shows that kind of come together to make it up. So we appreciate your patronage, your audienceness, your encouragement, and all those things, including your prayers. Coming up this Christmas. So all that aside, Merry Christmas to you as well. We'll be doing a Christmas Eve show. Can we announce that? Are we saying that now? Well, we can. We just did. So there we go. 10 o'clock, 10 Eastern, 10 o'clock Eastern on Christmas Eve. You won't have much to do except for wrap presents, drink Schnockernoggin, and wrap your kids' stuff. So listen to this instead. Or wow. Either way.
Shirley Unicorn says the first... go ahead. Finish up, Tom. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say sometimes you get a little lazy in the night and you start sticking like to and froms right on the thing instead of wrapping it. You ever see that one?
Yeah.
Some things that aren't even wrapped up. They're just there. It's just from Santa. You didn't even wrap it. You know?
Been there, done that. 3 kids. Shirley Unicorn says first season Rick Grimes apparently didn't get the memo on not going to cities.
Yeah, like the number one thing you should know about a zombie apocalypse is never go to a city. But I will say this, talking about safe cities for zombie apocalypse stuff. There's only one city in America that I know of that has a zombie preparedness plan. Sorry, what am I missing?
Let's not sleep on this. This is a great idea. This needs to happen. And people can send in submissions.
You want to read it, Tom? Read it, Tom.
Gold Bud says, you guys should do a little segment each week where you each give Frank 2 words to pronounce. LOL, Charlemagne. More like Charmelaine.
Charmelaine.
I will create a stinger for this if you guys really want it to be like pronouncing words with Frank or like
it is one of my favorite parts of the show.
Yeah, me too. What's like a Sesame Street one where they teach kids words? I'll try like mimic that. Like,
oh my god!
Today's show is brought to you by the word blank, and then it'll be Frank trying to say it earlier in the week.
If you really want to see me struggle words, come tune in on my Bible studies we have in the morning, and when we get into some of the scriptures where some of the words are like, whoa.
Yeah, no one can pronounce names out of the Bible correctly. I'm convinced of this.
I can, but that's just because I'm better than everyone else.
Nerd.
Oh my gosh.
What I was gonna say is that Lansing, Michigan, as far as I know, is the only city in America that has an actual zombie preparedness plan in writing, like that's been passed by the city. And every year they have a zombie walk in downtown Lansing. So, and plus Michigan, people in Michigan they have guns. Like everybody's got guns. So
hell yeah,
I'll make that case.
Abby?
Golden Finger Picker. I am on Conspiracy Pilled with PJ and my in here.
There it is.
That's it.
PJ and that third person we have. No, yeah, it's a secret.
Abby's
third
on
host.
Twitter. Abby's got a fat Twitter handle. Why don't you drop that in the chat? People can follow you.
Yeah, the Abby the Lib. I'll drop it in.
What does that say to you guys?
Well,
Yeah, should be Abby the Fed.
Abby the Fed.
Yeah, how about Abby Libby the alias? We don't believe it for a minute.
It was Abby Libby, and then they took my account, so I was like, I'm going to say I'm a lib, so they won't take it away again.
I'm a lib. By the way, blackface is the same as woman, or woman face is the same as blackface.
That's actually a really good idea. Just say like Abby the Lib, because like at first glance they're gonna be like, oh, maybe I'm not getting this as irony. And they just allow your channel to say whatever.
Abby's kind of a big deal. She's got many leather-bound books, and her Twitter account smells of rich mahogany.
Yes, her followers smell of blue checks.
She gets featured on the Post Millennial.
Okay, so I found out it was the second time I was featured, and I went back and I realized it was the same author for both times. And then I realized he was following me. So I followed him back, and I was like, thank you.
Usually when guys follow women, it's not a good thing, but on Twitter, it's okay.
Yeah, he stalked me.
When I do it in the street, I get, in trouble.
I get pepper sprayed.
Yeah.
Spelunking content.
Yeah, she does live streams on Twitter from the cave.
But for real, you guys, I am hopefully finally getting better after 6 weeks of being sick. It was COVID and then the flu and then some sort of lower respiratory thing.
You don't have to make up those different excuses. You were spelunking and everyone's fine with that. And that's why you didn't know about Salty Cracker, because you were living in a cave for weeks.
I was too busy living in a cave. Yeah.
That's what happened with her. That's why she was, don't let her lie to you.
I used to live in a van down by the river, but That's actually.
I
a
am a little
story.
suspicious, Abby, because you said that you might have gotten it or given it to PJ over the stream was like a joke. But now I'm feeling like I'm a little sick. My wife has been out and about. Now she's super sick.
Frank's family said, they're feeling a little sick too.
Yeah.
So
I was
Got
going
a
to make
mask. Got a mask up on the
yeah,
screen.
I was going to make PJ mask before we came on tonight, but he said he didn't feel too well. So I don't want to be I don't want to be responsible for giving Salty the flu
stream aids,
because
as
he
they call
showed
it.
up on here.
Hey, let's keep a distance of 6 pixels, all right?
Oh, so did you guys see this story over here real quick? Let me pull up. Not speaking to black people on this one.
Yes, if you're black, mute.
It's not for you.
Yeah, Frank wants you to know if you're black, this doesn't pertain to you. Buzz off. So bad. We don't mean that. That's a big joke. Ha ha he he.
Yeah, it's a big inside
If you're
joke.
black, you have to listen. Listen up. We're telling you what to do now.
No, I lost the
Even
story.
worse.
Where'd the story go? Oh no,
Pick a lane.
I don't have the story. I gotta grab it now. My bad.
Jeez, Pete.
Black woman.
Amateur. I'm
It's
an
coming
amateur.
out. It's coming on CP time. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Colorful.
The article's here. It's just going to be late. It's on its way. It's still at its house.
Yeah. Did anybody see that Meghan Markle documentary that Meghan and Harry?
Yeah, I watched the first hour of this. So, yeah, we can talk about that for a minute while Frank looks that up. We were. So, yeah, the whole thing. This is the most boring documentary I've ever seen in my life. Did you watch the first hour of it, Abby, or any of it?
No.
Wait, before you guys
Yeah.
go on, which one is this? Is this the orange one or the uglier one?
Of
For
the
boys.
princes, it's the orange one.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
it's the
Orange,
one.
orange, good. Orange man, good.
Yeah, so like I remember seeing the trailer for this, and the trailer is, hey, by the way, leave us alone. Also, we're gonna do a 3-part documentary where you're gonna have to like be forced. We're gonna like force ourselves in your living room. Pay attention to us that as we tell you how much we don't like being in front of the camera and the media. Which when I watched it, I expected a little bit more of that, and instead, all you got was an hour of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry sharing their childhood photos and saying, hey, we hid from the press for 3 months before they knew we were dating because we didn't want to be in front of the cameras. So here's all of that footage that we took because we couldn't stop being in front of our own cameras for 3 months. And now we're going to force you to watch it in your living room as we call each other weird, cute pet names and talk about how bad it is to be in front of cameras. It's the worst documentary in the world. Like, I don't know who's asking for this. And like, that's the question is like, are people actually, like, I know there's people who are obsessed with celebrity, but are people actually asking to see that one person who is only black because she tells us she's black all the time, and that prince we didn't know the name of because we're Americans and we don't give a shit about the monarchy?
Can I interject a thought or a
Yeah.
guess? I think
Yeah.
it's money laundering. I think they're trying to launder money into the North Americas, and the best way for them to do it is like a Pearson publishing deal for Obama, but Netflix for the prince. Why would they pay them hundreds of millions of dollars for 15 hours of footage that they could otherwise just come up with or make up stories about and then interview them for? It's because now they can say, well, we sold media and the media was worth something. And that something we said was millions and millions and millions. And so now they get paid off this money that was probably going to be given to them somehow. Only now they have a legal up and up above board transaction. And it's excusable. People are just now saying, who cares? But the reality is they don't care if you care. It's a way to pay these people off for something.
Yeah.
Possible.
Yeah, so I have that story, by the way, now.
All right.
So it's right here. If you guys were tuned into Fox News, this former liberal Sherpa.
The liberal Sherpa. Yeah,
Today's
she's always
stream
on
is-
Tucker Carlson.
Today's stream is brought to you by the word Sherpa.
Wait. Before we go on with this, Abby, I feel like we just skipped over Abby's opinion of the prince and princess.
She didn't watch it. Screw her opinion. I actually sat through that crap.
All right. Never mind, Abby, you got skipped. All right, so
Yep.
we're on to the former liberal Sherpa of Fox News charged with kidnapping, financially exploiting her elderly mother. This says Kathy Aru tricked her mother into believing she was going on an ice cream outing with her granddaughters, but instead locked her into a care facility. Well, I mean, who doesn't get rid of your mom that way? You stick her in the old folks' home and you hope Ben Stiller doesn't put her on lawn care duty.
Let me tell you this: the makeup department at Fox News does wonders.
Dude, if you're a lady,
Some
never
wizards
get a
over there.
middle part. If you're a lady gonna have a picture taken from the top, don't get a middle part. Not a good look.
Does she
From the
not
top, I
look,
said.
Does she not look like someone who would, would exploit
Have you seen the
her mother
videos
for
of her
meth
on
money,
Tucker?
though? No.
It's pretty wild. Oh, she's been great. Kathy has always been the one who's like defending the dumbest things possible. She will take the dumbest stance because they need her to, and then she's happy to defend it with a smile. She's, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but she was doing the 17 magazine or Teen People or Teen Vogue. She was she wrote for Teen Vogue. Am I wrong on this? They asked her about it, and she was, anyways. Tucker Carlson has great clips. I'll shut up.
Yeah, no, Kathy, yeah. She also worked for the Washington Post magazine, contributed editor who made a name for herself by providing a left-wing point of view on Fox News, was arrested in Florida, my home state, of accusations that she kidnapped and financially exploited her elderly mother, who dubbed herself the liberal Sherpa.
We're talking about glass ceilings tonight. This woman's breaking glass ceilings. We were constantly hearing stories about Florida man, but what about Florida woman?
Yeah.
So
where's the person who kidnaps their mother for meth money? That's not a man. You know what I mean?
You're assuming their gender. It's rude.
Well, Florida man assumes a gender, and she's breaking those glass ceilings. So I'm actually proud of her.
Thank you, PJ, for recognizing that the progress women have made in our society.
Yeah.
Yeah, so suck it, Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, women too. Now women too can abuse the elderly. Well, look at Dr. Jill. She's setting an example for all young women everywhere, abusing her husband the way they are.
Facts. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Who's worse, her or Fetterman's wife?
Good question.
Well, Fetterman's wife, she really came at the media saying it was irresponsible of them to ask if he was in the correct medical condition to even be a senator. She chopped at them for that. So she'll be a great senator, I think, his wife.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing too, is like we actually know who's running that one with Biden. It's not Jill. It's probably Obama, but it's not Jill. So she's probably, I would go with Tom on this, that she's the worst wife of the two.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I give it to you.
Yeah.
Even though I think Fetterman's wife's pretty horrible as well.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Yeah.
You know whose wife is the worst? William Jefferson Clinton.
I thought you were going to say your wife for a second because you're looking around.
Jesus, what am I, an idiot? No, I'm not suicidal.
No,
I'll talk shit about Hillary Clinton. I won't talk shit about my wife. I'm not suicidal. I have dirt that will lead to the arrest of... I can't say. Not in this house.
Yeah, for all of you that are tuning in, you missed the Hillary Clinton sing-along, or what was it? The
I gotta go find the actual clip because you guys are disappointing with this.
Can we watch
it? Oh, are we going to do it again?
And the real one.
Oh.
You guys keep talking amongst yourselves.
Oh my gosh! All right. Well, as Tom's looking for that, let me go ahead and pull up this other story that I had that I thought was pretty funny. Well, actually, yeah. No, we already talked about that one. We hit it with Salty while he was here.
It's terrible.
Yeah. Oh, most of these stories we hit with Salty.
I wanted to talk about this one story, but I don't know if you guys have looked into it yet or not, because it kind of was breaking today, but about this this whole soccer murder conspiracy
This
thing.
is
That's going
so
on.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Let's talk about this one. So I'll just read the headline really quick. It says, American sports writer dies suddenly after collapsing in his press box the World Cup in Qatar. His brother says he was killed for his LGBT support. What really happened? So what happened, Abby?
I think it's the vaccine. I mean, this guy is a huge vaccine supporter. I think that if there was any way for them to say, other than his brother, for anyone to say it was because of the LGBT thing, because earlier in the week he was ejected, I guess, from the, because he wore a pride flag in, and security was like, no, you can't do that. That's against the laws here. And so, his brother's trying to paint it as an LGBT thing, but if they could take that ball and run with it, they would.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
The Chepo team says it's climate change.
Hey, Chepo team, what's up?
Because if it was a gay thing, they would have just thrown him off a rooftop. That's what they do over there. So
died suddenly as he hit the ground at 60 miles an hour is the part they're leaving out of this story. So maybe it was his LGBTQ support. But I will say this.
No.
It's weird to me, like if Qatar is so hell-bent on keeping gays out of their country, why do they let soccer in? It's like, hey, you know what? We're really against gay people. Let's find the largest group of queers that we can and just like bring them into the country to play a sport that nobody watches. And then, ban them from saying that they're gay or something. I don't know. It's really, really interesting tactics there.
Tom, you were going to say?
I don't.
Soccer fan.
Just that. I'm not a soccer fan at all.
Oh, no,
I was still trying to find the damn clip from Hillary driving off the cliff. There's a well-known, it's from, I think it's Billy Madison's O'Doyle Rules.
Yeah.
The whole car just going off the cliff. They added that clip to the end of Hillary Clinton's car karaoke. I'm dying to find it, but I can't. No, I don't give a shit about soccer or football, as the gays call it. I just think it's weird that they want to blame this death on him wearing a gay shirt. Did you watch the video of his brother? Because his brother is the gay one of the two of them. I got tossed up when I was reading this article because it says the guy's name, whose brother is openly gay, was wearing the shirt. And I'm like, wait, so it wasn't the gay guy wearing the shirt. It was the gay guy's brother who's there as a reporter. Yeah, and so he's like, I'm an ally. You guys are anti-gay. Well, I'm pro-gay. I'll be pro-gay right in your face. He stops. They tell him, you can't come in with that shirt. You'll be killed for it. And he's like, I'm coming in anyways. So then they say, okay, let's shake hands because we're not trying to stop you. You just know that we're trying to save you from getting beat up. He goes in and then apparently he collapses. So yeah, they could have injected him. They could have shanked him. They could have done anything to get him to collapse. But I think you're right. He was probably just in the heat of the moment watching all these hot, frothy guys running around. He probably just dropped.
Got his heart rate up a little bit, and then the blood clot hit him.
Yeah.
If he had a wife.
Sorry. Go ahead, Babby. Nope. What were you saying?
If there's any way they could have said he was stabbed for being gay or for supporting, they would have done it. The fact that they're so died suddenly, collapsed, it's suspicious.
Was there any hammers down at the scene?
It's almost like there was a documentary that came out 2 weeks ago called Died Suddenly, and we've seen this massive increase of headlines over the last 2 years of died suddenly, and there's one thing linking together, and Chepo Team's got it. It's climate change.
It's gay climate change.
Gay climate change.
Abby, was that a yawn you just did? Abby, were you yawning? Were you making you were doing you were making a weird face a minute ago.
I can't remember why I was making that face, but it wasn't a yawn.
The died suddenly? Because I wonder if this guy, did he collapse or did he go?
She was having her
and
Katy
then
Perry,
freak out.
Katy Perry Pfizer face was going on.
So it was either SADS or climate change.
You guys remember? Oh, never mind. Doesn't matter.
No, what? Remember what?
Irrelevant. I forget.
It's interesting.
No, they had all these videos of the people swatting over their shoulder and turning around and swatting, and then they spaz out and drop. Do you guys see these videos of people swatting over their shoulder, look like literally as if they're being touched by the angel of death? They turn, they swat it away, and then they and just drop. And you see young, old, gay, straight, Singaporean, whomever. I mean, it's all over the world. People are doing this.
It's almost like when there is a collection of data that is evidence, and then you look at that. This one always got to me because when I saw one or two videos early on where you saw needle, syringe without a needle in it, and they're putting up to a politician's arm. And they're doing this over and over again, or they've got an already empty syringe and they're putting it up to a politician's arm and they're pulling it away. It's you see one or two and you're like, maybe it's a trick of the camera, maybe they screwed up. And then it's every single prominent politician that decided to go on air in front of you and show you that they got this jab. Every single one of them has an empty syringe or a needleless syringe. And it's at some point that connects and that means something.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that Trump took the jab?
Yeah.
Probably.
Do you think that he actually took the real one, or you think that he took the water,
I think he thinks he took the real one.
That's an interesting take. Yeah.
I thought if anything, maybe he would think he took the placebo and instead maybe someone, I don't know, that would be real, lockdown, someone injecting the president with something, but it's also his vaccine. If they said, sir, it's the first ever, vial of vaccine, what do you think? He might have been like, all right, go for it. Let's do it. Fire it up. 2 of them at a time. 1 in each arm. I got enough. Do I make a muscle? Do I not make a muscle? I have too much muscle. I'm the strongest guy you've ever met. Did you know that?
Yeah, I think he's so genuinely proud of himself for it. I have never felt like any of that was not genuine.
That's the thing about Trump too, is you can tell when he's genuine about something. And it does seem like he is really proud of that accomplishment. The same way when you see him up there hugging the American flag, it's different than when Biden is yeah, America sucks and I hate every one of you, but God bless them. You know the thing, like there's a difference.
It's like everything they say is perverted inside and upside down. Like you watch them say Trump doesn't care about America when he is the only one to care in like 50, 60 years. You watch them say he's got all these different scandals when really now we see every single one of those things was detailed in the background, but it was just Biden, not Trump. All those Russia things, the P dossier, all these different things is likely the Bidens, not the Trumps. They just changed the name. But it's also that they want now to say, oh, sorry, you got this pulled up. I don't want to delay it any longer. I lost my train of thought. Go. Play it.
So here we go. This is what Tom was trying to find earlier. So I found
That's
it for him.
Yeah, way more important.
Yeah, so let's go take a listen. This is
I'm like a dog. I'm like a dog, and this is the squirrel. Go ahead.
Oh boy, big news.
Big news.
Here we go.
Oh, as long as I know how to love, I know I'll stay alive. I got all my life to live. I got all my love to give.
Oh boy.
Oh,
I'm a horrible person.
hey, I remember why I was saying that. It's because they showed you they were taking the jab, which makes me think they probably didn't take it because they're going to do everything in opposite land and antithesis,
Right.
everything. So if they say, watch me getting the jab, everybody, I'm sure it's not them getting the jab. And like if they
Right.
said that they didn't do it, they probably did.
Which is interesting too, because like a lot of celebrities get lumped into this, and it makes you wonder what Justin Bieber and his wife did to piss off the elite. That they got the real thing and they got the Bell's palsy or whatever. So, yeah.
Well, I bet you this. They probably knew there would be some. I mean, hey, if this is the Depop, then you know that this was also planned and told to the people that know about it ahead of time, so they would know not to take it, and they would also know to predict the public will have some negative side effects. They'll have some problems. It'll look weird if there are not celebrities that also have some problems. So we got to let some people just dangle, and they don't care. Justin Bieber's a useful idiot. He's a pawn. They don't care about a $400 million kid.
Well, Justin was good friends with Kanye until recently.
Yeah.
Until recently. Aaron Carter tried to get in touch with Kanye, and then Aaron Carter.
Aaron Carter got Hillary.
To be a little conspiratorial on this, we got talking about this the other night with young rappers dying over the last 10 years. And, there's this conspiracy.
Just in the last year.
I'm starting to, over the last 10 years. Like,
some of them are stupid because they post all their money on like Snapchat and then they come and get robbed and shot for it. But like Mac Miller and a bunch of other people.
Right. So like the conspiracy is that they're like, I've pointed this out to people before, but if you listen to rap music over the last 10 years, it's the exact same beat. You can actually like play them side by side. I've shown this to people where you can play all the same songs. They're being written by like one dude, right? And they're finding a bunch of 20-year-olds out of the hood and they're like taking them and making them into millionaires. They put these giant insurance policies on these kids that have some stupid gangster name, and then they die. And it's just like, they're just pumping out the same guy over and over and over and then just collecting on the insurance money. And I'm starting to become convinced of this when you actually start to look into it. It's like, oh, all of these rappers who are definitely getting the exact same music from the exact same dude who's producing them are all like big enough to be worth enough for an insurance policy and then dying suddenly. Like, and then they're replaced like the next day by someone who's a carbon copy of them. So I don't know.
Yeah, you notice the people who are all on the same page, they're all aligned with each other, are the same people who have been produced by Jimmy Iovine and Rick Rubin. If you look at those two producers and you look at the mega hits, it's like 80% of them over the last couple decades. It's Jimmy Iovine or Rick Rubin. And you'll say, okay, well, these are the guys who understand like that seventh note chord structure and how to make someone always feel like the end of the song is like, resonating and it's resolved itself and they feel good as a person that the song really hit them. Those are those guys that know how to like really make a song like in your brain. And so they do it more, I think now that way. They don't even need the person to be an authentic star to write a song that way. They can see on the internet what works, what doesn't. They can have AI rewrite a love song. They don't need that anymore from Sarah Bareilles, that kind of deal.
Yeah. Speaking of Aaron Carter, the Backstreet Boys Jingle Ball fans cheer wildly at Madison Square Garden. No backlash amid Nick Carter's lawsuit, and he's being sued right now for allegedly sexual battery.
Can we just?
He has a sexual battery? Normally, you just use a dildo. Why would he have to take a battery?
I hate you,
Frank. You love
hammer. It's better than a hammer.
Yeah, Nick Carter is in front and center of the Backstreet Boys, and based on their live performance on Friday night, fans are backing him after a woman sued him for sexual battery. Backstreet Boys took to the stage for Madison Square Garden Jingle Bells, singing the Wham classic Late Last Christmas, and the crowd went wild, particularly when Nick soloed on the first verse. It was the group's first performance since Nick was accused of the 2001 assault.
This is the first
2001.
time I'm learning that Nick Carter was in Backstreet Boys. So,
Well,
I
ABC
don't know the difference between any of these guys.
Yeah, Nick Carter, who is the brother of Aaron Carter.
Yeah.
We know Aaron Carter got offed. Nick Carter denies the allegations ever happened, but was reported ABC canceled the Backstreet Boys primetime holiday special. Now,
This is a great way to cancel 5 white guys at a time, though, right? Or perceivably white, because they're all millionaires now. I know AJ and Joey Fatone are like questionable. They're a little brown, little 1%. You know what I mean?
What were you saying a second ago, Abby? Though, at the beginning
there's
of
a lot of people in the chat talking about Joe Rogan, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
Is there some like breaking story with Joe Rogan right now, or what?
Whenever there's a big chat, someone always puts a Joe Rogan RIP. I'm sure that's what it is. Did you look it up on Twitter yet?
I'm looking and I don't see anything.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, okay.
You guys had me freaking out for a second there. Good job.
Joe Rogan died suddenly because of ivermectin.
The horse case.
He finally took a horse dose and it was too much.
Yeah.
Hey, it's 8:51, so we have 9 minutes left. We're calling last call if anyone has or no.
Yeah. No, you're right.
No, please.
I was just going to say we were going to extend last call a little bit longer, so that way we can get through all of these super chats that we have here, so we can recognize everybody. So if you, as Tom was saying, if you do have a super chat and you want to go ahead and throw it in the last call, go right ahead. We're going to go ahead and start reading some of these off because we got quite a few tonight to get through. So first, go ahead. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I'll pull them up for you.
All right, appreciate it. First one was from Pew Pew with Todd for $20. Says, I'm super stoked. Didn't know Mr. Salty was going to be here tonight. The salt must flow. Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Pew Pew with Todd. And Tater Eggs came in, said, thank you, Pew Pew. God bless. Thank you, Tater and Eggs, for the super chat as well.
Yeah, I just want to say again, Salty was such a great guest. So it was really amazing we were able to get him on here. I'm glad you guys were able to show up and be a part of this. It was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thanks again for coming out in numbers. It was a lot of fun to see.
Yeah, this is obviously record-breaking tonight for the Last American Pubcast channel. So we could not have done that without the Salty Army's help and the Pubcasters all showing up in support as well. So we do appreciate you guys. I know there's a lot of y'all that are Pubcasters and Salty Army. So thank you for the dual support from you guys. So it's absolutely amazing what you guys have done for this channel and helping us continue to grow it and continue to help our reach, and even over on Rumble and Odyssey as well over there, supporting us over on those other platforms as well, which is very important. This one coming in from Building with Todd. I wonder if he knows Pew Pew with Todd. Anyway, says, watching live from the Grid Ranch in BFE, Arizona, while cleaning my fishing rods. The salt must flow.
I love that.
Yeah.
Can I just say real quick that the Last American Pubcast channel on YouTube is at 2,980 followers?
Almost 3,000. Wow.
Well, we can hit 3 live, right? Is that what you're trying to get at?
We could hit 3 live with all the people that are here. So yeah,
that's awesome. So if you have not subscribed, help us get over that 3,000 mark now.
I know some people are watching this from Frank's channel or from Rumble or from Odyssey. It's all amazing. But if you can support the Last American Pubcast over on YouTube and Rumble and Odyssey, just follow all of them.
Yeah, because that helps us take the people from YouTube faster back over. So it's like the faster you send the canoe back to the island, the faster we can get them back over to the mainland. That's what we're trying to do.
Right.
Get a bigger canoe. Oh, I should add, while we're talking about Odyssey and Rumble, the few Odyssey and Rumbles that came in. So from Space Pirate Ivan, he said, game on, yar. And then American Dream said, salty time, because time is racist? Something like that. Salty Space Pirate Ivan again says, fact is, USA having trouble trafficking the 80 billion in arms that they left in Afghanistan. So the Uniparty, the Uniparty War Party needs a good dealer, referring to Victor Boot. That's why they released him, to keep the Nazis afloat.
Can I just say something about that real quick? Because everybody keeps calling him a Russian arms dealer, but it's not like he didn't also work for the United States government and every other government in the world.
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
We just passed 3,000. Thank you, guys.
Oh, wow.
That's quick.
That was amazing.
That's worth a drink.
Thank you.
That's worth a drink.
Cheers.
You guys are amazing.
Good on ya.
So this one came in from Tater and Egg, says, thank you, Building with Todd. God bless. Then we have this one from Ken, says, Hillary photograph with exposed vajayjay. No! We don't want
There's
that.
some breaking stories that we just don't want to cover on this channel, and that is one. So
That is one for sure.
That's got to be about Vijaya Gotti.
I think so, but
I
either
think so.
I've
Either
seen
way.
Vijaya Gotti too. I'm good.
Tater and Eggs with the 25 says, "Thank you, Ken. God bless." Thank you, Tater and Eggs.
Thank you.
This one coming from Waffle Salter for the $100 says, "Cheers, Berserkers!" The salty Berserkers who are in the chat. Thank you guys
You
so
guys
much.
are amazing.
Absolutely.
And we just got another one over here on Rumble, so I'll do the Rumbles right now if I could.
Yeah, go ahead.
Start at the top here. So Craxon Jackson said, "Hey, Frank, Tom, Abby, the Cave Dweller, and PJ Base." I think we read that one. Craxon Jackson also wanted to say, "Ree." Thank you.
Thanks
Lizzie
so much.
Longtoes says, "Hi guys, thanks, love you. Salty Army is Legion. Drink, keck." Craxon Jackson says, "Lizzie Longtoes, absolutely, long time super chatter. Thank you, Salty. I got my shirts today from Lizzie Longtoes. Blammo, eat shit, commies,
Blammo.
and more." Hell yeah.
Love it.
Fiona is my bitch. I think that's referring to the dog in the photo. Says, "Salty, much love." Fiona's the shepherd, I'm sure. And then we had No One to You says, Yo, Salty, I've been thinking about how to get more ballots. All I've come up with is banging fat chicks.
Can I apologize to Fiona really quick? I'm sorry that Sam Brinton stole your outfit.
That's awesome. And then the last one here was Crash Bandit on Rumble says, "Pour one out. Thanks for the link from Odyssey."
Awesome.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
so much. This one
Thank you,
came in from Rainmaker. Said globalists need to learn from Yamamoto. They walking a giant that they can't be stopped. The salt will flow.
Good job on that one, Frank.
Yeah, you're waking a giant.
Tater and Eggs came in, says, "Thank you, Waffle Salter. God bless you." Thank you
Absolutely.
again, Tater and Eggs.
Amen.
This one came from President Carissa Saltine for $50. Says, "I love your show. Thank you for all the info." Whee! Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Thank you.
And Tater and Eggs came in with says, "Thank you, Rainmaker. God bless." Thank you, Tater and Eggs. Tater and Eggs again for $49.99, $50 says, "Thank you, Carissa. God bless." Thank you again, Tater and
Thank you,
Eggs.
Tater and Eggs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we also should say thank you to Mustachologist. Sent one saying, he says, "Mohap, Michelle Obama." I can't even say it. Someone else has got this.
I don't know what it is. I can't see.
Michelle
I don't have
Obama
the-
has a penis. You know about
Oh.
you know about Mohap.
Yes.
Mohap.
Now I
This is,
know.
it says Michelle Obama has a penis. Mohap. I don't know what that means.
No idea. Yeah.
Thanks for the super chat.
Young Canuck with the $7 super chat said, "God bless you guys." Thank you so much, Young Canuck.
God bless you.
Eminem for $40 says, "Super straight non-pedo dono."
Yeah, we don't take
So,
pedo money.
Yeah.
We don't
Yeah.
take any pedo
Not
money.
Balenciaga. Okay. Come on.
Yeah. Thank you
That's
for
our sponsor.
clarifying.
Our sponsor for this half hour, Balenciaga.
At least you can say it.
No, it's just
We also have-
Adidas. Okay. That makes it totally fine.
Microwaved Dr. Pepper also just sent 5 saying garlic bread.
All
Okay.
right.
I don't know why,
Thank
but
you.
it's garlic. Yeah, garlic bread. That was the super chat.
I'm
Nice.
actually
Don't
now
mind if I
hungry
do.
for garlic bread. So yeah.
I would tell you why, but he'll have to send another explanation. I'm just kidding.
Tater and Eggs came in with 40, says, "Thank you, Eminem. God bless." Eminem says, "Tater, you're killing it." Yes, thank you
Yeah.
so much,
Yeah.
Tater.
Absolutely.
Tater and waffle salter were in like a something off. I don't even know what to call it.
Space Private Ivan for $10 and didn't leave anything. So thank you so much, though. Appreciate
They were
it.
in
Some
a
love.
chat-
That-
I was
It was a
gonna say
love
chat-
off.
I was gonna say they're in a chat off, but that just makes me think of Kurt Cobain because he's always shooting his mouth off. So I don't know.
Don't you mean Corbane?
Corbin.
Always shooting his mouth off.
Did I say that live on air, or was that before we
I think
came
it was
on
before
air?
the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was before, yeah.
This is what we need to do. We need to start recording the pre-show and then make that the members segment we upload later.
Yeah, I like it.
Ooh.
Some of those things. Frank says the darndest things before we're live and way more racist than you would ever imagine.
Never.
Against Hispanics. It's
It's
odd.
always against Hispanics too. It's like he hates himself. One of those self-loathing.
Self-lit. I've been called that on
self-loathing
Twitter.
wetbacks. Yeah, I don't know.
I've got all kinds of DMs like that before.
Hey, microwave popcorn. I'm sorry, microwave Dr. Pepper. Little Freudian slip there. Microwave Dr. Pepper says, "Oops, this isn't a search engine. Great show, guys. That maybe explains the garlic bread.
Thank you. What do we got next there, PJ?
Space Pirate with the $10, and then we've got Taters and Eggs. Thank you again, Eminem. God bless you. Thank you. Gary Smith with a $5.
Thank you.
Space Pirate.
Private. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Check your Odyssey.
Yeah, we read them. I just did that.
Biz not your friend. Yeah, Tater and Eggs. Thank you, Space.
Thank
Keep
you
on
so
rocking.
much.
Waffle Salter with the other 100. It says more bubbly for the Salty Army mugs. Yes,
like
for
it.
an Irwin Salty Army. Kevin
Taste.
Evans for $20 says, "Hey, Salty," when Salty was on. Thank you so much.
Really
Microwave
breathy
Dr.
there.
Pepper. Microwaved Dr. Pepper wants me to correct it again. I thought I said I made a mistake. He says popcorn, and I know I had to correct myself. It's microwaved Dr. Pepper. Everyone, thank you.
Thank you so much. Timothy Brown with $50 says, Nick Riquetta just had a live stream covering the grand jury findings for the Loudoun County rape cover-up. It was shocking of how complicit the school board was in order to avoid blowback from trans activism.
Yeah, that story's disgusting. Sorry, were you going to say something, Abby?
Oh, just Riquetta is one of those
Riquetta.
guys who's not explicitly conservative, but is still very censored on YouTube. It's interesting to keep an eye on him.
Yeah, I think he was really censored because of his coverage of not only the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, but also the Amber Heard trial as well.
Yeah, and he's gotten into some other. He just pokes his nose in the wrong places. So
He's a little
that's
narrative
fine.
destroyer. He goes and plants himself in the narrative and just stands there in the, kind of splits it up like a rock in a stream. He's sitting there going, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. And people stand there and watch going, yeah, it doesn't. They don't like that.
Exactly.
He's like unzipping the narrative right before their eyes.
He's
Ocean
honest.
Breeze. Yeah, Ocean Breeze Salty for $10 says they tied the tampon string into a noose and the FBI was called.
That's one of my favorite comments of the night. I love that one.
Yeah.
And then once they found out it was just a tampon, they all fought over it.
Waffle Salter came in with another $100, says, can we get Salty as Fauci and Tom as Trump debate parody, which we did. Thank you
That
so
was
much.
so stressful. I've never been more stressed in my life to get something right. And I don't even think it was that great, but I think we got through it.
If you thought you were stressed, I guarantee you Salty was stressed being put on the spot.
Oh, I mean, his Fauci's, yeah, geez.
Young Canuck with
That was
the
fun.
it was the 279 live stream. The super chat kind of says, when everything is racist, nothing is. Absolutely. Timothy Brown for the $20 says, Frank, you would have had more attendees during this live stream if you didn't schedule it during the UFC 282. I was multitasking during the prelims.
Come on, Frank. Stop scheduling the live streams during Trump rallies and UFC things.
I know,
when
I'm like the
Salty's
worst scheduler.
available.
Yeah. I'm the worst scheduler ever.
But that reminds us, if you're still, making your calendar full for the holiday season, you can, again, remind yourself, Christmas Eve, 10 o'clock, live, Last American Pubcast.
Absolutely.
That's right. And it will be at a different time that night. So we'll get with you guys as we get closer to that date.
Right.
William,
we just said 10 p.m. Eastern?
I think that's what we said. I couldn't remember. That's
Right.
why I said
Yeah,
what
that's
you
what
would
we
look
said.
up.
Right, I just said that, and then you said, no, it'll be at a different time. I don't want to fool anyone. It'll be at 10.
No, we'll start before Tom. No, I'm just kidding.
You come in at 10. We're going to start at 9.
And we end at 9:59. So
Right before Tom comes on.
I feel like Lucy pulling the football away from Charlie Brown.
Poor Tom.
William Bedard for $2 says, good to see you, Frank. Been a little while. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. Susudio. Did she forget to back the day Pam Grier movies?
Pam Grier.
Did she forget
every
Pam
single
Grier?
She forgot every single action star who was a female for like 40 years, which is too long of a list for us to bring up. So,
guys, she didn't forget. She genuinely thinks she's the first one. Someone told her that, and she didn't know anything, and she hasn't watched a movie since she was 14 because she's been working.
The original Predator.
This girl is stupid. Not necessarily just arrogant. She just doesn't know outside of her own world.
Harvey said you're the first female action star.
He's like, look, if you sleep with me, I'll make you the first female action star. And she bought it. And now she's got to hold on to that. Go ahead.
He said, this is my first ever BJ. And she was like, yes. She went right for it.
I'm the first female voice in conservative podcasting.
That's true.
Very true. Very true.
And the first undercover Fed that outed herself.
It's all part of the plan.
Waffle Salter came in with another $100. Says, Salty led me to all of your channels. Truly thankful for that. Cheers.
We all really appreciate you a ton, Waffle Salter. We were talking about that before the stream, too.
Microwave Dr. Pepper again. He says, you didn't have to do that. Thanks, though. You didn't either. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Goldbud came in with a pretty funny idea here. Says you guys should do a little segment each week where you give Frank 2 words to pronounce, like Charmin Lane.
Yeah, we got to come up with a good name for that. Like,
Charmin Lane.
Charmin Lane. Can we come up with 2 right now, just as a thank you to everybody?
Tough words with Frank.
Look. Start typing words in the chat, and I'll just bring 2 of them up.
Yeah, let's get a couple good ones. Oh, this will be great, like a comedian doing crowd work. Like, okay, yo, give me something to talk about. Stand up on the spot.
Yep.
Let's go.
What do we got?
I know
we got spelling bee on the spot.
I'm still waiting.
Or pronunciation bee. We got to have some good words. You know the special word from Mary Poppins. You know that one, the big long one, right? Can you say that one?
Superficial, superfrackle, or something.
Yeah, but superficial, superfrackle. That's it. You got it. Superficial, superfrackle. I think that's it. It's Super Frackle Fraggle Rock. That's it. You got it.
Here we go. We got our first one.
Whimsical.
There we go. Let's get one more, guys. Hold on. There's a lot coming in.
Saul Burrows.
Good effort.
Saw you brios.
Salubrious.
To be fair, I'm not sure I would have got that one.
Salubrious?
There you go, Tom.
I would have said salubrious, but I don't know if that's correct or not. I've never heard.
I don't
that
know
word.
either. I'm asking. I'm saying it with an up inflection because
you guys just making up words over here, like women's rights and other words that people make up.
Seriously.
You know?
Did we have any more super chats we need to thank for? Egregious?
He just said it. He just said egregious. It's egregious. That's an egregious one. You and Free Beer from the Free Beer and Hot Wings show both can't pronounce egregious.
Griner from Gitmo. Or Gitmo.
Yeah. Griner. I just liked that one. Yeah, I just wanted you to read it. So.
Okay. Did we have any more super chats I need to?
No, we got through the super chats.
One more to take us home.
Anti-disable man trans something.
You're not even trying.
Anti-disestablishmentarianism for people listening later.
Is that the same thing that Biden said? Was it true pressure?
True international shout of pressure.
Yeah.
He said that better than the actual words.
Yeah, it turns out gibberish is actually easier than real words.
Is Frank going to become our resident Biden interpreter? He's like, well, listen, true international pressure meant this. And we're just like,
you guys know the thing.
You know the thing.
You know the thing.
I don't know if I've ever laughed this hard during one of our shows. So I really hope you guys appreciate this. We've all appreciated you guys. My face hurts. My stomach hurts from laughing so much tonight.
While we still have 1649 on, 1600 of you guys on, we have these every Saturday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. Every Saturday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, except for the Christmas special, which will be at a later time. But
10.
all the other, at 10 p.m. But all the other ones are at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Next week's guest is Lucretia Hughes, and Shy Patriot will be joining us for next week's show. So we look forward to that. We will actually have an equal balance of male and female on the show next week.
Gross.
I don't like it.
As long as Abby doesn't have to do more spelunking. We'll be good.
Yeah.
We're also going to have spelunking be another one of the words.
Next week's stream will be brought to you by the word spelunking. You want to close us out, Frank?
Well, yes, I am. Frank is Salty's brother. Yes, I am. You did not.
Yeah, you know when Salty refers to his meth addict homeless brother, he's referring to Frank.
I can't talk. He has trouble with the words, guys. Trouble with the words. They're hard. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get us out of here. We appreciate all of you guys that came in to support the stream tonight. Thank you so much to the Salty Army and the Pubcasters. You guys are fantastic individuals who have supported the stream tonight and every night that you guys show up. I know the Pubcasters that show up every night and the Salty Army that showed up tonight. Hopefully you guys will return for the next week's stream at 7 p.m. We have daily videos throughout the week, clips from the live streams that we do. So you'll see some clips of Salty later this week from this stream that we had tonight. We do appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you so much for the support. Got over 3,000 over on YouTube on the subscribers for the Last American Pub channel. Thank you so much for that. You guys have made this a historic night for the channel, and that's because of you guys and you guys believing in what we do here and supporting not only myself, but PJ and Abby with Conspiracy Pilled, and of course, America Floats Tom and his channels that he has, Sinking Not Sinking channel on YouTube, and his America Floats channels over on Odyssey and Rumble. So you guys have done amazing supporting all of us here in all of our separate ventures that we do. We do appreciate it so much. Thank you for all of the support. And go ahead.
If you are new to the channel, make sure that you're subscribed and then go back and watch those old clips on YouTube and everywhere else. We have all those old clips all synced. So they're on the Odyssey channel, even though they each have like a view. They're all on the Rumble channel, even though they each have like a view. But if this is new to you, then go watch that. Like you should. You have nothing better to do right now.
That's right. That's right. And for everyone here tonight, for PJ, Abby, and Tom, you guys have a great day. I saw somebody put it in there. That's my outro. Thank you so much. And we're going to head out with the outro. Don't forget to tip your waitress and waiters on the way out. We do appreciate all of you guys' support. And we'll see you guys next weekend. Same time, same place, same pub. I'll make sure we leave out enough peanuts and pretzels for everyone. Have a great night, everyone.